Baseball Primetime, presented by Sonos. Great scene in Lubbock, Texas. A blackout at Jones AT&T Stadium. Fans celebrating Halloween. They're here to see Patrick Mahomes, who goes into the Texas Tech Ring of Honor tonight. And of course, amped up for a Big 12 grudge match between Baylor and Texas Tech. On this final Saturday of October, things becoming clearer in the Big 12. TCU staying unbeaten with a win at West Virginia today. And K-State backup quarterback Will Howard leading that big shutout over Oklahoma State. And here come the Red Raiders. Look at those standings in the Big 12. And you look down at the Bears and the Red Raiders. A win and they're still in the Big 12 title chase. A loss and they're all but out. Dave Aranda, Joey McGuire, they know that very well. McGuire spent 5 years at Baylor, the last 2 as Aranda's assistant. They are friends for sure, but it adds another layer to this great rivalry. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Lubbock. Alongside my partner, Rocky Boyman, I'm Clay Matvick. Don Davenport will be with us shortly. So Texas Tech has played an absolutely brutal schedule. 5 ranked opponents this year. They've stayed above water despite using 3 different quarterbacks this season. The guy they're going with right now is redshirt freshman Behren Morton.
Yeah, Behren Morton is a young kid with an absolute cannon for an arm, and he's not afraid to use it. He really thrives in this Texas Tech scheme that spreads the ball out over every square inch of this field. Now look, he doesn't know every aspect of this offense yet, but he's playing with a ton of confidence, a ton of energy, and really has this offense playing great.
As for Baylor, they're getting some great play from a freshman as well. It's coming from the backfield. Richard Reese has really inspired an otherwise depleted running back core.
Yeah, he's really fitting in this scheme Dave Aranda likes. Pound the rock, pound the rock. That's the theme around this place. And Richard Reese really playing well last week against Kansas. 31 rushes for 186 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now look, he's not the biggest guy in the world, Clay, but he runs big. He really comes downhill, runs behind those pads. He's not afraid to carry the load for this Baylor offensive attack.
Now we'll keep an eye on Richard Reese. Here tonight, the tortillas are ready to fly. It's the place to be in Lubbock, Texas. Baylor, Texas Tech, coming up next. You're watching the Big 12 Conference on ESPN. Man, this place is hopping. We're ready to go for Baylor and Texas Tech as we take a look at tonight's Chick-fil-A impact players, Rocky.
Yeah, Xavier White really become the man these last 3 weeks, over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, become the go-to guy for Behren Morton. And Tyree Wilson, he is a big man out there, 6'6", 275. He's really got to do a good job tonight setting that edge and stopping this run game for Baylor.
81st meeting. Baylor barely leads the all-time series. These games are always close. Texas Tech in their all-black throwback uniforms tonight won the toss. They deferred, so Baylor will get it to start at the 25-yard line. And look at the tortillas raining in on the playing surface. One of the great traditions here in Lubbock. Let's go down to Don Davenport.
Yeah, guys, you feel the extra energy down here. Quarterback Patrick Mahomes going to be inducted into the Ring of Honor at halftime. But for pregame, he stood right here and met with kids, took pictures, watched his old team warm up. He also spent some time with offensive coordinator Zach Kittley, who brought over his red shirt freshman quarterback Behren Morton. And Mahomes told him as he was running to the locker room, go do your thing. Guys, Mahomes here, extra energy. This environment is loud. Baylor's going to have to handle it.
Yeah, we'll see if they can weather the storm, Don. Thank you very much. There's Richard Reese with his first touch. It's a catch for a short gain.
I always like getting your best playmaker involved in the game early. Richard Reese, we talked about him in the open there. He's the man, just a freshman, but they like to give him the ball in multiple ways.
Blake Shapen, sophomore quarterback out of Shreveport, Louisiana. He's been fighting some turnover issues the last few games. He's out of the shotgun. And they'll give it to Reese again, this time up the middle. And he'll get about 4. So 3rd down and 5 coming up as you look at Shapen. You know, when we talked to offensive coordinator Jeff Grimes, Rocky, he says when he gets time, there's really nobody better.
Nobody better. He's played well the last 3 weeks, except for what you just mentioned, the turnovers. He had a couple fumbles, a couple interceptions. Got to take care of the football tonight and not give it back to that Texas Tech high-powered offense.
Both of these teams have a fourth down mentality, so we'll see if they're going to use the fourth down right away, but no, they don't have to as they complete it to Hal Presley for a first down, a gain of 8.
So big. Monterey Baldwin, one of their best wide receivers, not available tonight, so it's good to get Hal Presley involved. Really good athlete. And we're going to talk about how fast Texas Tech likes to go, how many plays they run. So it's so important for Baylor to control the tempo, keep that Texas Tech offense on the sideline. Great job there.
Quaylon Jones comes into the ball game at running back as Chapin goes under the center, Jacob Gall, for the first time. Jordan Neighbors in motion. They will give it to Quaylon Jones. Jones, 242 pounds, very different from Richard Reese physically.
Yeah, they look different, but both of those guys got to run that outside zone. You saw it a little bit right there. Going to hand the ball off. That offensive line is going to go to the left or to the right, and on the 5th step, that running back's got to put his foot in the ground and get north.
Rivalry game on the road. Baylor needs a good start to keep this crowd out of it. 2nd down and 6. On their opening series, it's Richard Reese again, and he's hit and driven down short of the 40-yard line. Joseph Adedire, the defensive end, comes in, gets some help from Tony Bradford.
The remedy for the outside zone is penetration. You got to get your defensive line fighting upfield, and Tony Bradford just hit the seam and made a tackle for loss in the backfield. That's what they got to do all night.
Here comes that crowd on 3rd down and long. Chapin getting some pressure right up the middle, escapes the pocket. And he's going to hook it close to midfield, and that's going to be a first down as Blake Chapin, when he's called upon to run, is pretty good with his feet.
Youngsters talk about aspects of his game. That's a great job making something out of nothing. They brought the blitz here, brought Tyree Wilson, looped him inside. That's a 6'6" man coming right up the middle. But a great decision, tucking that thing and picking up the first down, moving the chains.
One of the best pass rushers, not just the Big 12, but the entire country, Tyree Wilson. Here's Chapin just slinging it. Short pass. That's Drake Dabney, the tight end. And he's going to get Baylor into plus territory, but it's a gain of just 2.
Really like what Baylor's doing right now, right? They're using a lot of different plays. We've seen a run to the outside. We've seen the screen passes, a little screen to the tight end, slants. He's trying to keep this Texas Tech defense, who's really, really fast, keep them guessing.
Now, they want a more measured pace, too. They want to control time of possession. Chapin on 2nd down. It's going to take a deep shot, his first deep throw of the game. Good coverage. Muddy Waters had good pressure on the quarterback, and a good job in the secondary by Reggie Pearson, the Wisconsin transfer.
Muddy Waters, that's a name we're going to be calling all night. He plays some safety. We'll bring him up on the line of scrimmage. We got some great cover guys on the outside. There's Jeff Grimes, the OC.
Grimes in his 2nd year as offensive coordinator. And he's looking at a 3rd down and long here. What do you like?
I like to try to find Hal Presley here.
Now they're going to run it up the middle with Reese. And he is going to be stopped short of the line to gain. It's a gain of 6, but we talked about the aggressive nature of both these teams on 4th down.
Both teams like to use analytics, and they get a number at the beginning of the series. They got to know how many yards they got to get to go for it on 4th down, and it looks like that number is 2. So here we are, as this sea of black comes to their feet. Biggest play of the game so far.
16 conversions for Baylor, 2nd in the nation, only behind Texas Tech. Gavin Holmes in motion. 3 receivers to the left side. Chapin looking that way. All kinds of time. Now he's going to run for it. Takes a punishing blow. And I don't know that he got it. Now they mark it at the start of the slide, Rocky, and where they're marking it right now, it looks short.
And that's one where, and I know you got a defender screaming at you, but you'd love to see Blake Shapen just come forward and lay out for that thing instead of taking the slide.
Texas Tech will get it as Baylor turns it over on downs in this place. Reacting to the great start for Tim DeRuyter's defense. We're going to see the Red Raiders offense on the backside of this break.
Critical fourth down play for Baylor. They weren't able to convert, and they choose to just rush 3 on this. Shapen had time, and if he had surveyed the field properly, he would have seen his wide receiver, Hal Presley, wide open. Even from there, if Shapen scrambles and he runs behind his pads and dives for that thing, he gets the first down, but when you slide, it becomes right when you start that slide, he doesn't get it. And now here comes this high-powered offense for Texas Tech.
And Baron Morton wants to throw on first down. He is incomplete. That one was intended for Jaron Bradley. So one of the fastest teams in college football history. They average 89 plays per game. 4 times this season, they've gone over 100, Rocky.
Yeah, it's I mean, this is slow to what we're going to see here as this thing starts to speed up. They really, really go quick. Thinks it does a great job of keeping that defense off balance.
Taj Brooks will get the first run for the Red Raiders here tonight. So Roderick Thompson and Taj Brooks have made a pretty good 1-2 punch at running back the last couple of years for this team, and they quickly get right up back to the line. 3rd down, but again, they may only need 4 or 5 yards to go for it on 4th down. We're going to get our first penalty. That's some movement on the right side of that line.
See, false start, offense, number 66, 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
That's Matt Keeler. Played well last week against West Virginia. That was his first FBS start as Monroe Mills is out again today.
And that's the thing sometimes with going fast. You're worried so much about going quick, going quick. Guy isn't set, guy doesn't hit a snap count, and you get a negative play.
36% on 3rd down, second to last in the Big 12. Morton getting some pressure, steps away. On the run, Morton's going to have a first down into plus territory, diving to the 46-yard line of Baylor.
What an excellent play decision by Baron Morton. Baylor just rushes 3, and that thing opens up and a lot of room to run.
14-yard pickup. Now he swings it out to Xavier White, his first touch, and he's going to get about 5 or 6.
I really think that's going to be an option for Morton today. I think Baylor's going to rush 3 a lot because they figure the ball's going to be out. It's going to create some opportunities, some lanes for him to run that thing.
2nd and 4. Morton lofts it out of play. Matt Jones was all over Baron Morton, so he had to get rid of it. 3rd down and 4. So this team averaging 500 yards of offense. That's 9th in the country, passing 3rd nationally. Despite 3 different quarterbacks, the common denominator, their offensive coordinator, Zach Kittley.
He's the wonder kid, right? Young kid who has an amazing history, which we're going to get into as this game goes on, but really has a wonderful offensive scheme here at Texas Tech.
3rd down and 4, going the wrong way here is Morton on the run. He'll sling it sidearm, kind of Patrick Mahomes style there. And Dylan Doyle, number 5 for Baylor. 5th-year senior forced him out of the pocket. So now a 4th down and 4, and they will keep the offense on the field.
And this is where the people at home that don't know about the trend of analytics go, what are they doing right here? 4th and 4 after taking an incomplete pass. But again, all analytics driven. They knew they were going for it on 4th down as soon as this drive started.
Lead the nation, 4th down attempts and conversions, 64%. Here's Morton. Fires in and out of the hands and incomplete. Should have been hauled in by Nehemiah Martinez, and he can't get it. So now Baylor's defense stands tall, and Texas Tech turns it over on downs.
Time is presented by Sonos. Experience game-changing sound made easy.
Check this out. Joey McGuire, first-year head coach at Texas Tech, rocking his new cowboy hat. He was so proud this week. As we go down to Don Davenport. Hey, Don, I understand that's custom made, right?
Yes, the custom-made cowboy hat from Flint. We got the inside scoop. It's like the Rolls-Royce of cowboy hats, guys. Embroidered on the inside, made especially for Coach on one side, and on the other side says Wreckham, let's go. By the way, guys, his daughter Reagan is a fashion designer in New York City. I met her pregame. I asked if she approved, and she said absolutely. It's the best look.
How could you not? Yeah, he looks like George Strait or maybe Randall King.
Now, I personally think he should be wearing that thing on the sideline right now. That would be a sharp look.
Well,
Get that headset in there.
Yeah,
somehow.
well, we
I don't
talked to
know if
him.
it works.
Yeah, talked to him before the game. He said the headset would be the issue.
Now, this Baylor running game trying to get established here against Joey McGuire's team. Richard Reese on that first down carry picks up a couple. So it's 2nd down and 7. Here's Blake Shapen stepping up, going deep downfield, looking for Presley. That's going to land incomplete. Good coverage down the field by Dadrian Taylor Demerson, the safety.
This secondary really does a good job covering. They got some length on the outside. Both corners 6'3". Dadrian Taylor Demerson, not the tallest guy, but he is really playing great these last couple weeks. Had a pick in last week's game, and that is blanket coverage on a 2-man route right there.
There's Jeff Grimes. This team has been doing a great job, especially recently, in controlling tempo and controlling the ground game, and there's a run right up the middle for Richard Reese, the true freshman, becoming a household name in Bear Country.
That is how you run the zone. You get that thing going to the side, and then Reese puts his left foot in the ground and cuts it up, breaks one tackle by Rodriguez, and he's hitting that thing north. What an excellent job. First down.
Second in yards and touchdowns among freshman running backs in the FBS. Freshman out of Belleville, Texas. Now his counterpart, Quaylen Jones, checks back in to the right of Shapen. And our first look at the jet sweep. And Javon Gibson, check that. Jordan Neighbors hurdling a man. He's going to be knocked out near the 40-yard line. A gain of 6 for Neighbors.
That's one thing about this offense. A lot of eye candy, a lot of shifts, a lot of motions, a lot of misdirection. So you really got to be on your toes defensively, so you're not giving up a gap, because Jeff Grimes in this offense will find it.
Neighbors had a jet sweep touchdown against Kansas last week. They want to get him more involved. So now it's 2nd down and 4. Reese in the pistol. Tight end Ben Sims to the right of the formation. And it's Reese again. Another good burst, and that's a first down as Baylor gets it to the 35-yard line of Tech.
And that was exactly what Texas Tech doesn't want to do. Tim DeRuyter talked about, we got to set an edge, got to set an edge. That whole edge got collapsed down inside. That was just a basic play, sweep to the right.
So you see Richard Reese, 31 carries for 186 yards, a couple of touchdowns against Kansas. Helped Baylor hold the ball for over 40 minutes in that game. 31 carries, the most for a Baylor running back since Terrence Ganaway carried it 42 times in a win over Tech in 2011. Let's see if he's in store for that kind of a workload here tonight. Play action pass. Shapen doesn't see anything he likes and just throws it at the feet of the tight end, Kelsey Johnson.
This is legal. Number 87 is in the area. 2nd down.
Yeah, trying to get a tight end screen to Kelsey Johnson going, but that front for Texas Tech sniffed it out. And we talk about Shapen. The main thing's taking care of this football.
He's got a 68% completion rate. He's 3 for 6 so far. 6 minutes to go, opening quarter. Shapen backpedaling, throws on the crossing route, hits Gavin Holmes, and he's quickly met and brought down. Rashawn Merriweather, the middle linebacker, a key man on this defense.
Yeah, he's the man in the middle. like to set those edges and funnel everything back to Merriweather, but he does a great job in coverage here, breaking on the football. Key to playing zone defense is you got to break on that thing before the quarterback releases it. Excellent job stopping that one.
Got to think, Rocky, that this is 2-down territory. 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, they don't need to get 8 yards here. Got to get it probably about 6, and they'll go for it on 4th down.
Chapin fakes the handoff, keeps it. And he's going to be driven down by Kosai Eldridge, the super senior. Didn't get probably as much as he would have liked, but they will likely... Nope, they're going to bring the field goal unit out.
Yeah, 4th and 5. I don't think that's one you can go for. I don't care what the analytics say. Had a couple nice drives where you've controlled the tempo. I think it's a good thing. Get some points out of this. Feel positive about your offensive production so far.
Now John Mayers, 5th-year senior, 4 for 4 with a long of 44, so this will be a season high as he sets up from 48. He's got the distance, and it's good. John Mayers gives Baylor the 3-0 lead on the road with 4:39 to go, opening quarter here in Lubbock. Baylor jumped out to a 14-0 lead within the first 5 minutes against Kansas. Not a dominating start, but certainly a good one for Baylor, controlling the clock. They get 3 on that last drive. John Mayer's 48-yard field goal. This series has been fantastic between Baylor and Texas Tech. Mentioned it before, the last 3 games have gone down to the wire. Combined margin of victory, 7 points. Last year's ended on a field goal. See what happens this time around. Noah Rauschenberg to kick it off. Xavier White, Nehemiah Martinez back deep. And this one's going to go through the end zone. Well, next Saturday, our featured ESPN college football game has Bryce Young at number 6 Alabama and Jaden Daniels at number 18 LSU. Coverage begins Saturday night, 7 Eastern on ESPN. And Rocky, the winner takes a big step toward the SEC West title. That's next Saturday night.
And LSU playing great the last couple weeks. Have a win over Florida and Ole Miss. Convincing win over Ole Miss. And all of a sudden they're playing their best football this season. Now right now for Texas Tech, they got to get some rhythm. Have absolutely no rhythm in that first drive.
Morton has completed just 1 pass in 5 attempts. Looking to complete one here. He's getting heated up. He's going to dump it off short, and it's incomplete, intended for Miles Price.
I'll tell you one thing, Clay, I'm seeing, and this Baylor's D is able to get some pressure on Baron Morton so far in this football game. Now, this offensive line has already given up 24 sacks on the season, so it's been an issue, not so much the last couple weeks, but they got to show that thing up.
And fake the handoff to Taj Brooks. Morton, he's going to be swallowed up, and there's sack number 25. Thrown down by Garmin Randolph, the defensive lineman.
Just an absolute beast of a rush. Coming off the outside. And there's Caleb Rogers. You don't want to have a running back come in and try to help block a defensive end. Didn't work out well.
3rd and a ton. Morton wasn't ready for the snap. Still is going to complete it for a first down. How about that? Xavier White wide open as Morton didn't expect that snap. Lucks out, finds an open receiver, and completes a play of 44 yards.
And you wonder if the bad snap kind of threw the defense off. It's almost like they just stopped, and Xavier White found himself with a lot of green grass.
And now Brooks on first down will run on the right side for 3. Boy, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
And that's the thing about Morton. He's a gamer, right? Doesn't know every part of this offense, but he knows how to get the ball to his playmakers, and he can sling that thing.
Moving with frantic pace. Again, the sidearm sling from Morton. Good coverage again from the Baylor defense. That time, A.J. McCarty, the cornerback, in coverage. Get it away from Fungi.
Texas Tech fans used to seeing that sidearm throw. One Patrick Mahomes did that a lot while he was here, still doing it in the NFL. See a lot of these young quarterbacks doing that sidearm thing.
I think Baylor's doing a great job handling this pace to start. You know, you can see that Tech has slowed down, and you can see Baylor slowly getting off as they're able to substitute.
Absolutely. If the offense subs, the defense can sub, and they can just take their time like you saw right there. Great strategy.
3rd down and 6. Morton steps away from the rush. Now running out to his right. What a throw. Just a rocket to Nehemiah Martinez for the 1st down. Check that. That's Brooks.
Does this so well. Such a strong arm, just kind of bides time, extends that play, and then zip, that thing comes out.
On 1st down, Morton to the end zone. Well covered, and it's intercepted. Devin Lemire coming back the other way for the Bears. Baron Morton, his 4th interception thrown, and Baylor will get it back.
That's a mistake by Baron Morton right there. Got to throw that one away or feel that pressure. Can't throw it up amongst 3 guys there. It started off with a great play by Baron Morton, scrambling to his right. Seems like he's dead to rights, and then he just zips that thing out. Man, that thing has some mustard on it, but then makes the mistake. He's getting some pressure, just a 3-man rush, and you throw it up amongst really about 3 guys. That's a rookie mistake by Baron Morton.
That's the 14th turnover this year for Texas Tech, most in the Big 12. They had been cutting way down. Only 1 turnover in the past couple of weeks, but that's a big one early.
It's a big one. They're starting to put together a nice drive. And they give the ball back to Baylor.
And 1st down, they'll run it with Reese. And now you would expect that Jeff Grimes is going to really try to control the clock here and pound the rock as they want to do.
It's so much a key. It's keeping Texas Tech's offense on the sideline. It's making sure you're accounting for every block. When you go slow like that, you can have answers for how to block certain things, especially in this wide zone scheme.
2nd down and 9. Chapin looking to the right. That's caught. And out to the 34-yard line, Hal Presley.
Tell you what, when Blake Chapin has time, he is really, really good. He's accurate. He seems to know where to go with the football. He's just got to be better when things break down. We've already seen that a couple of times tonight. Made a couple bad decisions, but when that pocket's clean, he knows where to go with it. He can let it rip.
He was in concussion protocol until Wednesday before the Kansas game last week. He has taken some hard hits the last couple of weeks, but we've seen him show his toughness too. As Reese takes it. Look at that, cuts it up, and that's going to be close to another 1st down for Baylor. Indeed, it will be. Kosai Eldridge, the weak side linebacker, makes the tackle. They'll move the chains.
And a little bit of a variation from Baylor. I've seen this twice tonight. They're pulling 2 offensive linemen. And when you pull 2 offensive linemen, that creates 2 more gaps to that side. You got to have a black jersey in that gap. And right now they don't. That's what makes it so tough here. They make you really think and be gap sound with your defensive scheme.
Deep handoff this time, and Texas Tech ready for it. They just slam the ball carrier down. Reese thrown to the turf. As Tyree Wilson, the guy you talked about, he's one of your impact players, gets there first.
That's being gap sound, right? You got Wilson, you got Tony Bradford. Again, penetration, pushing that thing back. I'm not allowing that runner or the quarterback to make a cut. That's how you stop that zone run.
You know, when they talk about Wilson, they always have said he's a great pass rusher. His run defense has become elite, though. Down the seam and incomplete. Nobody home for Chapin. Closest man was Ben Sims, his tight end.
It was dangerous. He got hit as he was trying to throw this thing. It definitely affected the throw. The very active front. Texas Tech, you can see, just getting him on his heels. Lucky to not get that thing picked off.
Chapin's got 5 interceptions this year, 4 in the last 3 games, and again, that one nearly cost him. And here it is, 3rd and 13 as the crowd starts to howl again. Chapin, play action, will dump it off short. There's some room up the middle, but it's not going to get to the 1st down marker. And now a decision time for Dave Aranda. Drake Dabney gets it to the midfield stripe. With 30 seconds to go here in the quarter.
Timeout for an injury to an offensive.
Drake Dabney slow to get up for the Bears.
And that's not good. They're already without Monterey Baldwin, one of their best wide receivers. They're down a few running backs. get Dabney back.
Well, Dave Aranda has a little more time to think about his next move. He's got a 4th and 3 that he's staring at. Dave Aranda, last year's Big 12 Coach of the Year. Baylor, the preseason favorites in the Big 12 for the first time after winning the title last year. Dave admits this team is not there yet, but I think he's got to be pretty pleased with the way this team has weathered this crowd, this atmosphere here tonight so far.
And he's really controlled this Texas Tech offense. I think the way they've controlled the ball and the clock on their end offensively has been key, and then to come up with some big plays on defense, getting a lot of pressure on the quarterback up front.
Won 2 games in year 1, 12 last season, including the Sugar Bowl over Ole Miss. His defense facing probably the fastest offense they've seen since Ole Miss in last year's bowl game, and they continue to look at Drake Dabney, their number 2 tight end. And this is not good as the cart is coming out. Dabney was absolutely fantastic at West Virginia. 5 catches, 66 yards. And they're going to take him to the locker room.
You see right here, you see the defender, that was Malik Dunlap, goes low, trying to chop that big, tall tight end down. Got him on the leg here, and hopefully Dabney's okay.
Thumbs up. It's always good to see. So with a 4th and 3 at midfield. Now Baylor's nature is to be aggressive. Will it be that way here?
I would punt this ball, but again, I don't have the analytics book that they're looking at, and that's what they pay attention to. So that determines a lot. And they might even just choose to let this clock go down and get into the second quarter, but here they go. Looks like the offense is coming on the field.
Why not? Hey, they haven't won in Lubbock since 1990. They have to make some big plays and some big decisions to turn that around. Dave Aranda going for it on 4th down and 3. He turned it over on downs once.
Got to protect here, but they might bring some pressure. Yep.
Shapen rolling out to his left. Nothing downfield. He's going to run for it again. Takes another hard hit, but this time he went head first, as you suggested, and he picks it up.
Now, that's not an easy thing to do because he took an absolute shot, but hey, it's a tough man's game. You got to get that first down. Incredible job by Blake Shapen there, showing the toughness, putting his shoulder down. He took a big hit from Dadrian Taylor-Demerson, but picks up the first down.
That's the end of the first quarter.
Well, that's how the first quarter comes to an end. Blake Shapen, a 2-sport athlete. He was on Baylor's baseball roster last spring. Thinks he's sliding into home plate. Gets the first down. Joey McGuire was at Baylor last year at this time. And round 1, as they meet here for the first time on opposing sidelines, goes to Dave Aranda's team, 3-0 after 15 minutes. Who saw that coming? I think there's some sports fans around the country that are thinking this could be 60 points of offense tonight, 2 teams combined. There's a short pass for Baylor. And that catch brought in by Jordan Neighbors. He's escorted out near the 40-yard line, a gain of 4.
I think Baylor's done a good job running the ball so far, 62 yards, and that's what Dave Aranda told us. Pound the rock. When things are going good, pound the rock. When things are going bad, pound the rock. That's what they want to do here at Baylor.
2nd down and 6. His current drive. 8 plays, 3.5 minutes. Time of possession way out of whack in favor of Baylor. Almost 12 minutes of possession time for the Bears. Going to run it to the near side, Richard Reese. And He's going to be a couple of yards shy of the first down marker, so third and very manageable, especially when you consider how aggressive they are on fourth down.
That's the play we've seen a few times tonight. They seem to like pulling two offensive linemen to the outside and letting Reese just run downhill behind it. That was a better job by Texas Tech being gap sound.
It's Blake Shapen. Last year he replaced an injured Gary Bohannon late in the season. Beat Texas Tech in his first career start. They're going to be the MVP of the Big 12 title game. Sends Cameron in motion. Away from center, deep handoff to Reese, and he's cut down. Dropped at the 39-yard line by Merriweather.
Wow. What an excellent play, number one. Penetration. And you see it, he comes from depth, slips the block, and makes the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. That is a big-time linebacker play. And even with taking the loss, Baylor's going to go for it here. And if you're Texas Tech, watch Blake Shapen keeping this thing and trying to pick it up with his legs. That's what he's done the last few times.
Shapen! Swallowed up. That's a loss of 7. Tony Bradford, the veteran of that defensive front.
What a great scheme by Tim DeRuiter, the defensive coordinator. Brought him inside, brought him outside. They brought the house and brought Blake Shapen to the turf. 3-0 here in Lubbock.
.12:49 to go before halftime. 3-0 Baylor. As we take a look at the Taco Bell Live Más student section. Student sections across the country competing to be the Live Más student section of the year all season long. And if Taco Bell runs out of tortillas, I know where they can find some.
I learned about that tradition here in the lead up to this game. Pretty cool.
Look at that before it started the ball game. Right at kickoff, actually.
You gotta love college football. How do you explain that to someone who doesn't know?
Texas Tech going to work here on offense. So Roderick Thompson will get the run. Devin Lemire quickly wraps him up. It's going to be a gain of 3. So Baron Morton on the last possession through an interception at the goal line.
Officials timeout for an injury to a defensive player.
Now TJ Franklin is down for Baylor.
And to me, the biggest thing that needs to happen for Texas Tech is they got to block Baylor's defense right now. And right now they're getting pressure to the quarterback, and sometimes they're getting it by just rushing 3s. They got to stir that thing up and make sure Baron Morton gets some time to start chucking that ball all around the field. They don't, that's going to be an issue all night.
Zach Kitley, first-year offensive coordinator. There you see him rallying the troops. Came from Western Kentucky, where he helped make Bailey Zappi a star. You see Franklin jogging off to the Baylor sideline. That's good news. Kitley now back at Texas Tech, where Cliff Kingsbury gave him his first job as a GA. And back in those days, he worked closely with Patrick Mahomes, who's being honored here tonight. 2nd down and 7. It's Roderick Thompson in the backfield. Morton rolling out, pumps, still looking downfield, now down the sideline, and that's incomplete. Mason Tharp, the tight end, the intended man, and you just get the feel that this crowd is ready to get behind this team, this offense in particular, but so far it's just sputtering.
And right now, Baylor's doing a great job defensively of taking away the deep shot. This is an offense that lives off of going for 4 verticals and taking a shot, and they've not been able to find one so far tonight. They got to catch Baylor in a zone, try to hit someone. That's what they've done so much damage with this year.
Morton backpedaling again. That pass is nearly intercepted. Al Walcott, the team leader in tackles, doing a good job in coverage. And it's 4th down and 7, and we're going to get our first punt of the game from Austin McNamara.
Like I talked about the pressure, they bring Doyle off the edge and then bring Matt Jones, a little double linebacker stunt. Just the offensive line is not picking it up.
We didn't know if we'd see a punt all night. We're going to get one here from McNamara, the senior out of Gilbert, Arizona. Arguably the best punter in team history. Fair catch called for by Gavin Holmes. 44-yard punt. Baylor 3-0 lead here in Lubbock. 12:01 to go in the half. Football playoff rankings come out Tuesday on ESPN. 3-0 Baylor leading Texas Tech. College football playoff top 25 show presented by Allstate. Rocky and Don, I want to know who you like.
Don's got a little more love for the SEC, but I think Ohio State's the #1 team in the nation. 44-31 over Penn State today. Tennessee doing a good job over UK. And then you see TCU. Both of us, Don, got TCU in the mix as well.
Yeah, I can't believe you put so many SEC teams in there, Rocky. But I'm going Tennessee #1. I'm sorry, you cannot ignore what Hendon Hooker and that Vols offense is doing. They lead the country in scoring and total offense.
They're pretty explosive.
What a catch on that far sideline by Hal Presley. That's going to be a gain of 31 yards.
Oh, great job. Look at the concentration by Presley. Back shoulder. Gets the right foot down, taps it. Great play, start this drive.
Now back to the ground, and Quaylen Jones. It's going to be a loss of 1. Now these two teams, they're not thinking about the playoff right now. They're just keeping their focus on the Big 12. Win tonight, Big 12 title hopes stay alive. You lose your 3rd game in the league, and it's going to look bleak.
But the Big 12 is bonkers right now, right? Like, no team has really come up and taken hold of that thing, I guess, other than TCU. So, yeah, a lot of teams still in it. Whoever wins tonight is in it. Whoever doesn't might be over.
4th possession for Baylor, 2nd down and 11. Stepping up is Shapen, and he'll slide down again for a gain of 3. By the way, don't forget to go to ESPN.com/Allstate Playoff Predictor to check out your team's chances to make the college football playoff. TCU, they're the front runner in the Big 12, looked really good at West Virginia, even though the Mountaineers gave them a handful today.
They did, but they hung in there. Max Duggan was exceptional late in that football game. Undefeated right now. Got Hal Presley down the bottom of the screen. He's been the go-to guy tonight. Single coverage.
3rd down and 8. Quaylen Jones in the backfield. Shapen was slinging out to the far side. Gavin Holmes the catch. Good run after the catch, but he shorted the line to gain. And here we go again. Another 4th and short. And decision time for Jeff Grimes and Dave Aranda.
We've seen most times tonight, they're going to go for it. I don't know, here comes the punt team. Looked like they were going to bring Doyle in and as a fullback and go for it.
Isaac Power is going to come out to punt for the first time. Half of his punts have landed inside the 20. His snapper is the offensive coordinator's son, Garrison Grimes. Oh, it's shanked. And it's going to land out of bounds. You see where they mark it. Bad punt for Isaac Power.
That's what happens when you don't punt a lot, right?
That's just a 17-yard punt as they're going to mark it at the 37-yard line. Well, tomorrow morning in London, exclusively on ESPN Plus at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 Pacific. Broncos take on Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars at Wembley Stadium. Go to ESPNplus.com/NFL to watch. And unless you live in Denver or Jacksonville, it's the only way you can see it. And if you don't have ESPN Plus, you're really missing out. You need to have that. You're going to get up early and watch that?
Absolutely. Got nothing better to do.
I know.
What do you mean you know?
Good catch, Miles Price. And again, Texas Tech in plus territory. We'll see if they can get something going this time. That's a 15-yard pickup.
Really love that play at multiple levels. Had a underneath crosser and then a deeper crosser. And Morton did a great job finding the deeper one.
See if the redshirt freshman can start to get into a rhythm. Well, now he's going backwards again. Nothing downfield, and he has to sling it out of bounds. Penalty flag comes in. Now, did Gabe Hall rough the passer? Or unsportsmanlike conduct, perhaps?
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense, number 95. 15-yard penalty and an automatic. First down.
We'll take a look at this one. I don't know here. Yeah, come on. That's a great acting job by Morton. That's bad.
Boy, Gabe Hall, a guy that's got an NFL future. I can't even call that a mistake.
No.
That's a penalty against Baylor that puts Texas Tech in some of their best field position of the game. Roderick Thompson finds some room. Thompson inside the 20-yard line. The veteran from Irving, Texas, with a gain of 15.
Great job of vision by Thompson, bouncing that thing outside. I mean, he can run inside, he can run outside, and that's the thing. You get that middle part of that line all bunched up there. He can kick it out. Nice run.
Thompson, a three-time captain for these Red Raiders. Morton fakes the pitch. Again, on his back foot, throws it away. Boy, we've seen that a lot tonight for Morton.
We have, and I think what's going on is Baron Morton, again, he's a great talent, highest rated recruit ever in Texas Tech as far as a quarterback. But right now in his career, Clay, he is a one-read guy, right? If the first read isn't there, he's not getting to his second, third progression. Doesn't have enough experience in this Zach Kittley offense, and I think that's what's causing some of the issues here.
Just 4 completions tonight in 14 attempts. First career start was on the road at number 7 Oklahoma State 3 weeks ago. Threw for 379, a couple of touchdowns. Not off to a great start here tonight as Thompson carries ahead. And that'll be 3rd down and fairly long from about the 15-yard line.
Hey, Clay, you know, Rocky was talking about that one read for Morton. Well, he ran a similar offense style in high school, and he told me the tempo was very much snap the ball. If read one's not there, go make a play. So that's how he played high school football. So he understands and he knows he's still learning kind of that preparation and the ability to read defenses.
Well, he's a coach's son. He played for his dad, James, at Eastland High School, halfway between Abilene and Fort Worth. So he's very comfortable in this scheme. He's going to send Roderick Thompson out of the backfield to the left side as a receiver. Throws, and that pass is high, incomplete. That sailed a little bit too tall, intended for Martinez. So it's 4th down.
That's one where he had time. Baylor just rushed 3, plenty of time to deliver, and that thing just sailed a little bit on him. Missed opportunity there. He wants that one back.
So Trey Wolf will come out to try and salvage this drive for the Red Raiders. 10 of 13 this year. He was 2 for 2 last week against West Virginia. This will be a 33-yard attempt out of the hold of Austin McNamara. We got a tie ball game. Baylor 3, Texas Tech 3. This Lone Star State rivalry from Lubbock. Texas Tech ties the game with a 33-yard Trey Wolf field goal. There's Tyler Shuck, the day 1 starter, back from a broken collarbone, available for the first time since that week 1 injury. They've got 3 healthy quarterbacks, and the way this offense looked so far with Baron Morton at the controls, you wonder if maybe we might see Tyler Shuck.
I mean, Zach Kittley talked about possibility of seeing all 3 quarterbacks tonight, and you know, you hate to keep second guessing and having a quarterback looking over his shoulder, but right now this offense is not responding, so you wonder if Tyler Shuck, now first time he's been available since week 1, wonder if they give consideration going to him.
Vasily Lomachenko is back looking for a title fight, but first he has to get past Jermaine Ortiz in the 12-round top-ranked boxing lightweight main event. Early coverage currently on ESPN Plus with the main card at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. Blackout here tonight, Jones AT&T Stadium. This environment has a buzz to it, but these fans haven't been able to really cut loose yet.
It's like they're waiting on it, though. You can feel they're waiting on this offense to explode the way it has the last couple weeks, but it's really not been able to happen. Baylor doing a great job controlling the tempo.
Yeah, they have really kept Tech's offense on the sideline, controlling time of possession. Over 16 minutes here in the first half for Baylor's offense compared to under 6 minutes for Texas Tech. Richard Reese on the pitch. Has some room. Good run for the freshman out of Belleville, Texas, Richard Reese. That's a gain of 19.
No edge on that defense. They're having a lot of productivity here on the outside. And just flipping this ball. This is a team that likes to run the zone, but this is just a good old-fashioned pitch to your running back, and got the offensive tackle leading on a cornerback, which is something any cornerback doesn't want to have. So they're playing some bully ball right now here at Baylor.
First down and 10 from the 44-yard line. Neighbors goes in motion. Another handoff to Reese, who was way down the depth chart when the season started, Rocky. Tay McWilliams started the year as the #1 running back. He has not played since the BYU game, week 2. He's got a concussion. They hope to get him back maybe next week at Oklahoma. Quaylen Jones, the other running back we've already seen here tonight. And another guy who you talked about out tonight, Squirrel Williams. So it is not a deep position right now for the Bears.
It is, and Squirrel Williams, that's a tough loss for them because he's such a dynamic player, especially on the edge for him.
Shapen, hops, throws, Reese the catch. And he's going to be about a yard shy of the first down marker, so third down and short as Reese shows he can catch the ball out of the backfield too.
I'll tell you one guy I'd like to see Baylor get involved, that's their tight end, Ben Sims. Haven't heard much from him here tonight. I think he has a target. He's a big body guy.
He's been targeted just once. Wasn't a catch. Arguably the best tight end in Baylor history. He did drop a touchdown pass last week. He goes in motion to the right side. Again, a pitch, and that's going to be another first down. Boy, Baylor finding traction on that play. Muddy Waters makes the stop, but not before a 4-yard gain, and they'll move the sticks.
I tell you what, that thing hits the perimeter quick.
Yeah.
He's pitching that ball, and bang, that thing is right on your edge. You can tell that they know Texas Tech wanted to hold that edge there, but you can't when that thing is right on the perimeter so quick. It's almost like how quick the option, like the triple option, gets to the perimeter, like when Navy and Army does it.
Baylor 4-3, Big 12 wins against Iowa State and Kansas. Getting away is Shapen. Still looking downfield. Penalty flags on the field. And that one's thrown away. There's a marker in the secondary.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense, #7, 10-yard penalty and an automatic. First down.
Texas Tech has taken the second most penalties in the Big 12 this year. And that one is going to be spotted at the 34-yard line.
Wow. Great advantage for Baylor. Getting a new set of downs. Getting that ball inside the 35. You just know they'd like to take a lot of time here at 5:44 on the clock. A nice, long, slow, run-driven drive here and get some points.
They'll stay with Reese. The rookie will squeak inside the 30-yard line. Tony Bradford brings him down. I mean, you'd think that Richard Reese spent a little bit of time in an ice bath this week after 31 carries a week ago. And I got the impression when we talked to Jeff Grimes in our meeting with him that he wouldn't like to see Reese do that very often.
He wouldn't, but I mean, look, he's got 13 carries, and it's not even the end of the first half, and a couple catches. So I think they're just willing to ride him. They got to win this football game.
Now they'll go to Quaylen Jones. That's going to be a first down run for Jones, who's 242 pounds. Where Reese is 175 pounds. They've got different skill sets. And that lends itself to being a problem for Jeff Grimes at times because you don't want to tip your hand.
Texas Tech.
As Texas Tech calls the timeout with 5 minutes to go here before halftime. So we're going to step aside to Baylor on the march in their 3-3 game. Tied at 3, 5 minutes to go before the half. There's offensive coordinator Jeff Grimes of Baylor. His team first in the Big 12 in time of possession. They held it for 40 minutes, 10 seconds against Kansas last week. Most for a Baylor team in 27 years. They're well on their way here today.
Yeah, doing a great job. This is exactly how you draw it up. They just need some more points.
Trying to get it on this drive. First down and 10. It's Richard Reese. Inside the 10-yard line, stood up and pushed out at the 5. The freshman gets it done again.
And there is nothing fancy about this play. My son's 8-year-old team runs this play. You just pitch the ball to the running back and let him get to the outside. You can see, again, pulling 2 offensive linemen. They're not coming over and getting in those 2 gaps. You got to have a black jersey in that newly created gap, and they don't. And Baylor is just going to be content to keep running that thing over and over and over until you stop it.
First down, a goal to go from the 7. After a 17-yard run by Reese, they'll pitch it to him again. Cuts it up. He's inside the 5 and down at the 2. How about this offensive line, Rocky? Second most experienced in the country. There have been some injuries, at times underperformance, but they are controlling the line of scrimmage here this evening.
Really doing a good job, and you can tell they're just content to keep on running that same play over and over and over until you stop it.
Dylan Doyle, number 5, the starting middle linebacker, checks in as a fullback. Had a couple of carries last week against Kansas. He's a hammer looking for a nail. They'll hand it off to the goal line. In, touchdown, Richard Reese. How about that drive? Methodical. Just as Jeff Grimes likes him. Touchdown, Bears.
Exactly how you draw it up if you're Baylor. And we're early in this game. Texas Tech's defensive line was getting a lot of penetration. You did not see it at all on that drive. If it's just hat on a hat, and great vision. That ball was going to go off to the outside to the left, but Reese saw a little bit of daylight and hit it.
Boy, Richard Reese, that's his 10th rushing touchdown. A true freshman. Caps the drive, which he was a big part of. 9 plays, 75 yards in 4.5 minutes.
Body blows by this Baylor offense right now.
And it's 10-3. Well, this season, All-State will celebrate every field goal and extra point made by participating universities by making a donation to the university's General Scholarship Fund. We say thank you to All-State. Richard Reese, who Dave Aranda says is calm and confident, and he's humble too, so handling this newfound stardom, you know, on the campus in Waco, he has no problem with it.
Yeah, the
handles it well.
Moment does not look too big for him.
Hey guys, lineman Jacob Gall is a 6-year guy, so he's seen a lot of freshmen, right? He said he's never seen one quite like Richard Reese when it comes to focus. Quiet guy, but he's so serious about everything that has to do with football. That's practice, that's game prep, that's the lifestyle of college ball, and he's seen his confidence soar these last couple of weeks, certainly translating on the field here tonight too.
Well, we talked about potentially getting Tay McWilliams back soon from that concussion, but you know, the way Reese is running the ball, they may stay with the hot hand.
Yeah, you got to go with the hot hand, you know, unless he gets a lot of wear and tear on him, which could happen with how many times they're giving it to him. Keep feeding him.
Coming up on the DirecTV halftime report, how about that big shutout in the Big 12? Didn't see this coming. Maybe saw K-State beating Oklahoma State, but I didn't see the lopsided shutout. Georgia rolls in Ohio State's 4th quarter push. Kevin Agati and Sam Acho will have it for you on DirecTV halftime report coming up.
That Oak State K-State game, like you talked about, it was 14-0, and then it was 34-0, and it was 48-0. What a performance.
Well, they're staying with Baron Morton for now. Reigning Big 12 newcomer of the week. So good in his first 2 career starts. He's had a little trouble moving the offense here tonight.
I think this is an opportunity right now for Baron Morton. If he doesn't get this offense going and get some production, you may see him go to a different quarterback in the second half.
Donovan Smith and Tyler Shuck have both been seen warming up on the sideline here in the first half as Taj Brooks Takes it to the left side, gets 3, and he's shoved out by Christian Morgan.
Trying to start off with a run. Didn't get much out of that one.
This is the 5th drive for this high-octane offense, which hasn't had much octane. 2nd and 7. There's Taj Brooks, cut down in the backfield. That's going to be a loss. How about Al Walcott, who's had a great first half, drops him for a loss of 1.
Al Walcott came like a missile from about 10 yards deep. Didn't stop, didn't slow down. Hit that running back. And this offense just has no zip to it right now. Nothing.
Texas Tech 3 for 6 on 3rd down tonight. Again, they may not need to pick up all of this to maybe consider going for it on 4th down.
You'd say it's crazy, but they did it there like 2 weeks ago.
Pressure on the backside. Morton is going to be eaten up. Braden Utley and Matt Jones meet at the quarterback. 2nd sack tonight for this Baylor defense.
What a pass rush by Braden Utley. With the spin move. Getting upfield and then rolling back inside. What an incredible play. Right now they just rush 3 and then they bring the linebacker late. Wow, what a great job. And right now, Bear Morton has got to feel that rush. He's got to see that thing and throw it away or try to take off, but take a sack there.
Booming punt for Austin McNamara. Gavin Holmes, a terrific return man, fields it and then is immediately wiped out at the 26-yard line. That was a 50-yard kick by McNamara. Now in the Big 12 today, we talked about TCU with their win in Morgantown. Iowa State still without a win in Big 12 play, get beat by Oklahoma. And then there is that amazing shutout by Kansas State. 48-0 with the backup quarterback, Will Howard, in the game for Kansas State. Adrian Martinez dinged up, did not go today, and they got that kind of production.
I gotta go back and watch that full game, because that's something else to put up a goose egg against Oklahoma State.
Time of possession way out of whack in favor of Baylor. Just how they want it. And as you might expect, they keep it on the ground with Reese. Well, he may get 31 tonight.
Keep on riding as long as they really think he can take the load here.
Now we'll see how aggressive Baylor is. I mean, they've got 3 timeouts left. Do they want to speed it up a little bit to try to get into field goal range?
I think they're going to be content just taking this thing into halftime. And Texas Tech does get the ball coming out of halftime.
I'll whistle this down. The official was still in there, but actually I think Texas Tech did get a timeout call.
See, Texas Tech wants to try to get this ball back. They know they can score quickly.
Texas Tech was trying to get a timeout. Did they get it?
Prior to the snap, timeout.
Yeah,
Texas Tech, their 2nd of the half, 30 seconds in length.
David Alvarez, our lead official here tonight. Well, the next stop on the F1 schedule is the Mexico City Grand Prix tomorrow afternoon at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific. Grand Prix Sunday begins our pre-race coverage at 2:30 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. Clay Matvick, Rocky Boyman, Don Davenport in Lubbock, sold out Jones AT&T Stadium. We thought we'd see a lot of fireworks here tonight offensively for these two teams. Really hasn't materialized that way. I think Baylor loves the way this thing is playing out.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly the style of game that Baylor was hoping for coming into this thing. Early on, they did a good job taking away the big plays by Texas Tech, and now they're getting more pressure on the quarterback.
This is an always great rivalry when these two teams get together. Extra special tonight with Patrick Mahomes entering the Ring of Honor at halftime. Deep shot, Shapen! Did he hang on? Yeah! How about that catch? Gavin Holmes, 29 yards and a first down.
And I think they caught Texas Tech off guard there. Seemed to think they were just going to run this thing, run that clock out.
For an injury to a defensive player.
I know their injured player, Dimitri Moore, is down. 6th-year senior outside linebacker for Texas Tech. Blake Shapen, he has been the better passer tonight. Over 100 yards now. Has protected the football, which has been a problem for him in recent weeks. Meanwhile, Baron Morton, 4 of 15, 71 yards, and he's thrown a pick.
And I think you're seeing the result of how well they've run the ball. Rushed for 117 so far in the half, so you get the defense, here comes a run, and then all of a sudden it's a play action pass or it's a 2-man route, and Shapen's finding the wide receiver.
Shapen 7 straight completions now. As Dimitri Moore, who played Hill High School before he left for Baylor. Walking toward the sideline, that's good to see. So 1 minute 9 seconds to go before the half. Baylor has its full complement of timeouts. They're in plus territory at the 42-yard line.
I think for Texas Tech, you cannot give up another big play here and allow for an easy field goal. Just makes it hard when Baylor's been running the ball as effective as they have.
John Mayer's, in case you're wondering, his career high is a 51-yard field goal. Shapen gets rid of it quickly to Josh Cameron. Cameron, after the catch, will get it ahead to about the 37. Tyree Wilson out there to wrap him up. It's a gain of 5 and a timeout called by Baylor with under a minute to go.
Great job.
Baylor, their first of the half, 30 seconds in length.
Quick pass, let your receiver break a few tackles. Get the timeout called.
Blake Shapen won the job in the spring. Gary Bohannon, after he did not win it, decided to enter the portal. He went to UCF. He's now out for the year with an injury. So they're riding Shapen. And you can see the time of possession. Wow, 21 and a half minutes here in the first half. Let's go down to Dunn.
Hey, Clay, I just find it interesting. Remember yesterday, offensive coordinator Jeff Grimes told us that he wanted Shapen to play a little more free because he said he takes it really hard when he makes a mistake, might be feeling the pressure and the weight of quarterbacking this young team, because we talk about how he had some experience last year and some success last year, but this is a very different team with a young wide receiving core. So I think Coach Grimes was a little worried about him feeling the pressure of that. He wanted him to play more free. You guys think you're seeing that a little bit tonight?
Absolutely. Jeff Grimes' quote was, "We need him to let it rip." And I think Blake Shapen is doing just that, letting it rip. Commanding this
that
offense.
run game helps,
Yep,
right?
absolutely. Makes it a lot easier.
Well, option to Quaylen Jones. He's strung out to the sideline. That'll be no gain for the Bears. Malik Dunlap strung that out, second year at Texas Tech. Transfer from NC State, making the stop.
Don't love that play. Little option into the short side of the field. They've had a lot of success on the last drive with that little pitch to the outside. They got 2 timeouts. They could have ran that one and used one of them.
Shapen taking a long look at the sideline as they check the play. 2 receivers to either side. Jones in the backfield in pass protection. It's picked up, thrown deep downfield. Shapen overshoots his man. It was Cameron racing down the sideline. Good coverage by Taylor Demerson again.
I don't know, you don't take a shot there, and now a little bit too far for a field goal. They got to go for a 4th and 5.
They need the 32. And now Baylor calls another timeout.
Timeout.
Because they didn't pick this up. They're giving Texas Tech a short field with plenty of time on the clock for as fast as this offense moves.
That's exactly right. They are built for this kind of situation. Not a lot of time on the clock, with as fast as they go, running those 89 plays per game.
So do you think maybe Dave Aranda changes his mind here at pooch punts, or just brings out the punter altogether?
I think I would here. 4th and 5 from this area of the field. You're going to give them the ball essentially on the, about 35, 37-yard line. That's, versus you kick that thing, try to pin them down inside the 10-yard line. Might be a little tough for them to go that length in that short amount of time.
This Texas Tech offense has been underwhelming tonight. They came in averaging over 89 plays per game, by far the most in the country. Tonight, just 25 through almost an entire first half.
Not showing the production they've shown all season, and Baylor's taking advantage of that.
After the Baylor timeout, 4th and 5. They are going for it, perhaps. Maybe shaping pooch punts. Steps up. Gets rid of it. It is caught inside the 15 by Holmes. What a conversion by Blake Shapen. Just a dart, 22 yards.
Try to get to the line fast, save that timeout.
Clock moving again. Shapen slings it out, and that is going to be incomplete, intended for Jones out of the backfield.
What a throw in that 4th down conversion by Blake Shapen. Keeps his eyes downfield. That pocket's starting to collapse on him. Just a good job just stepping up and delivering a confident throw to Holmes.
And how about Holmes hanging on to that despite good coverage? Well, he's been on fire the last few games, Kevin Holmes. 2nd and 10. 33 seconds to go. Baylor does have a timeout left. They're certainly within John Mayer's field goal range already. Leading by a touchdown, looking for more. Shapen going to the end zone, looking for Cameron. Penalty flag. Penalty flag thrown in the end zone. Rashad Williams covering Cameron. We'll see what the call is.
My initial look, that looked like good coverage, unless he had a right hand around his hip, but I didn't see it.
Could it be offensive pass interference?
Pass interference, defense, number 0. The foul occurred in the end zone. The ball will be placed on the 2-yard line with an automatic first down.
Wow, they say it happened in the end zone. Really didn't look like it. Rashad Williams, the UCLA transfer, called for the penalty.
Let's get another look at this here. Unless they called it off the line there, but oh man, I don't. And the thing he did is he turned back and looked for the ball. Usually if the defensive back turns back and looks for the ball, they don't call any incidental contact like that. I don't agree with that one.
Great opportunity now for Baylor to take a 2-score lead. The 5'10", 242-pound Jones in the backfield, but Shapen wants to throw, overshoots Presley. 2nd down and goal.
Hanning would have taken a perfect throw. Here's where you normally see Ben Sims, tight end. See Sims coming to the bottom of your screen there. And have a matchup on a cornerback.
Shapen has time. He'll fling it to the corner and again throws it long. He was looking for Holmes again. And Taylor Demerson is draping him. So now 3rd down and goal to go. They've thrown it on the last 2 downs. The running game has been so good. Did they go back to that?
You do have a timeout. You can run the football here, and they brought Dylan Doyle into the game, so I think that may be what they consider here.
They may even hand it off to him, Rocky.
That's what I'm saying.
He's number 5. They go to the deep man, to the goal line, touchdown. Richard Reese, his 2nd touchdown of the game. They go back to their bread and butter to score the 6th.
And what a dagger to the heart of Texas Tech was that drive. Under 2 minutes, it looked at the beginning of the drive that Baylor was just content to kind of run that thing out and go into halftime. Then they wind up getting a big play, then a 4th and 5 conversion, and then right inside the 5-yard line, they go to their bread and butter, pound that thing in the end zone. And you can hear a pin drop in the stadium right now.
John Mayers with the extra point, and it's 17-3 Baylor. There's a penalty marker on the extra point. And Texas Tech may have had too many men on the field.
If one fullback is good, two fullbacks is better. Richard Reese running right behind them. You see Doyle getting in on it. You see Gavin Yates pushing guys back.
Defense, 12 players on the field. That penalty is declined. The try is good.
10 plays, 72 yards. Very quickly for Baylor to get down the field. 1:38 seconds. Got some help from a penalty.
Yep.
And then they give it off to their freshman sensation, Richard Reese, who has 2 touchdowns tonight. That brings him to 11. 11 rushing touchdowns on the year.
I mean, and again, I thought Baylor was content to just go into halftime. Okay, then maybe we'll take 3 points, but to get 7 points out of that thing, especially with the way you're controlling the time of possession. And Richard Reese, 18 rushes. Yeah, I think he may get well over 31 tonight, partner.
And they've got a path to the Big 12 championship game. You think about who they still have to play. They still have to play Kansas State, still have to play TCU. I mean, they could be a 2-loss team in the Big 12 championship. And for both of these teams, you get a 3rd loss, that really becomes unlikely. That makes tonight very important. And so far, so good for the Bears here on the road. This would be a touchback. Baylor still has to play Oklahoma, K-State, TCU, and Texas. So you can see the map to get to the top 2 before it's all said and done.
Yeah, I mean, this is the critical game. Now, after this, Baylor has a little bit of a gauntlet ahead of them, but outside of TCU, I mean, really no other teams taking control of this thing, especially from Oklahoma State, how they played today, my gosh.
So Baron Morton and this offense, which has been stale tonight, not a lot of time, just 1 timeout, being chased as Morton. Here comes the pressure, he'll throw it away. Boy, we've seen that a lot tonight. Morton running for his life and off balance.
And I'll tell you what, you got to give a lot of credit to Baylor's defense, especially their defensive backfield. I didn't think they were a great man coverage team, what you got to be to play against this attack. So far tonight, they've come out and just been blanket coverage on the back end. There's nowhere for Morton to go with the football.
What are they doing? They're winning on 1st down, too.
No doubt about it.
Baylor told us that all week.
Taj Brooks straight ahead, and Texas Tech gets loose into the secondary, still on his feet, and that's how the half is going to come to an end. That's probably the loudest we've heard this crowd all 1st half. Not a good half. Texas Tech.
That is the end of the 1st half.
On Patrick Mahomes' appreciation night, an underwhelming 1st half. 17-3. Baylor with the lead. After the break, the DirecTV halftime report with Kevin Nagandi and Sam Acho. Go down to Don Davenport, who has an update on Texas Tech.
Yeah, guys, coaches told us that their goal for this game was 90 to 100 plays. They've got 27 here at the half. When I asked Coach McGuire about it, he told me they have to settle their quarterback. He felt maybe he was a little wired in the 1st half, but he also pointed out they've got to fight to get open and help him out. They're not getting any separation. I asked him if he plans to stick with Baron Morton this half. He said, yes, he has just got to settle in.
All right, Don. Yeah, we did see Donovan Smith and Tyler Shuck milling around on the sideline. Shuck threw a football for a while, but they are sticking with the redshirt freshman, who again is under pressure, and he is going to be dumped. Gabe Hall catches him from behind.
And to Dawn's point that she just made, there's nobody getting open. I scanned the entire field, and there's not one black jersey getting separation from a white jersey. Nowhere for Baron Morton to go with that football.
3rd sack given up by Texas Tech. That brings their season total of sacks allowed to 27, by far the most in this league. So 2nd and 16 after their 6-yard loss. Morton, and that's intercepted. Morton throws an interception on the 2nd play from scrimmage to start the half, and it's Mark Milton. The senior out of Houston with the takeaway.
And just a bad throw by Baron Morton. I mean, Mark Milton is just sitting back here waiting us. He's got to be able to see that white jersey come back into the play. And I just think you're really starting to see the inexperience of Baron Morton. You know, he's used to just kind of running around, being a gunslinger, hitting the first option. He telegraphed that one, and Milton made him pay.
Second interception thrown by Baron Morton. And this Baylor defense, it just keeps improving, especially in the secondary. It was going to be their biggest test of the season here tonight. So far, they're passing it with flying colors.
100%. And you and I talked before the game. That was my biggest concern for Baylor, was their defense. Can they cover these wide receivers? They've done an absolutely exceptional job.
Go back to work. Richard Reese, who had 2 touchdowns in the first half. He'll gain 3. 11 carries now and 55 yards for Richard Reese. And, you know, now Baylor has a chance to make a statement right away here with a short drive that results in points.
Choose some clock, get some more points. I really like that toss play to the outside in the first half.
Going to the left side is Reese, stumbling for a first down. Boy, he runs with purpose. And remember, he had 31 carries last week against Kansas. That's number 20 on the night.
And I must have said it 4 or 5 times in the first half, and I'm going to say it again. There is no edge to this Texas Tech defense right now. Tyree Wilson's getting pinned inside. Christian Merriweather got pinned inside, and it's just a simple off-tackle play for a bunch of yards.
Reese again to the 20-yard line. This Baylor team, they won 3 of their first 4 games, got to number 16 in the polls. Then they had back-to-back losses to Oklahoma State and West Virginia, coming off that good win over Kansas last week. Now, they allowed Kansas to hang around in that ball game after a good first half. That's what I'm sure Dave Aranda wants to make sure his team avoids tonight. Keep that edge, keep their foot on the gas.
100%, and I think you just keep running this football the way you have.
Cameron goes in motion on 2nd and 7. That's incomplete. Like Chapin, intended for Hal Presley. Chapin's had a good night all in all. 14 of 23, 142. But he's most importantly protected the football.
Protected the football. That's been his big bugaboo the last couple weeks, is some of the fumbles, some of the interceptions, taking care of the ball. But I think this is the most confident I've seen Blake Chapin all year. Like Coach Grimes told us yet last night, we wanted to let it rip. He's done that tonight.
3rd down and 7. Hand off to Reese again. Gets some room. Cuts it up inside the 10-yard line. First down. Goal to go again for Baylor. An 11-yard rip for Reese.
Again, no edge. No one's setting the edge. You'll watch off the left side of your screen. Tyree Wilson goes down inside. He gets pinned. He has got to stay outside and force that ball to bounce. This defense has speed. But if you don't box that thing, you don't force it back in, it doesn't do you any good.
Chapin goes under center on first down. Deep handoff. And spun around as Reese dumped for a short gain. Rashawn Merriweather, the middle linebacker, making the stop. You know, it's interesting, this defense for Texas Tech. They've been put in a couple of tough situations here tonight. Coming off their best performance of the year against a Big 12 opponent. They held West Virginia to 10 points last week. They need a big stop here. They need to keep Baylor out of the end zone.
Absolutely they do, and this defensive line has got to start playing better. Not seeing enough penetration, I'm not seeing enough edge right now.
Waylon Jones back in the game. They fake the handoff to him. Chapin dancing, lofting, and it is caught. Touchdown! Hal Presley. Boy, Chapin really put some air under that one. Presley got underneath it. It's a 9-yard connection and a touchdown for the Bears.
And now Chapin showing he's got that gunslinger mentality. A lot of time, but then he rolls back, throws to the outside, and just a dime. He throws to Presley in the back of the end zone. Just the ball placement right there by Chapin, exceptional.
Yeah, he put it only where his receiver could get it. Rashad Williams had pretty good coverage, but he just dumped it over the top of him. 13th touchdown pass of the year for Chapin. What a drive for Baylor after the interception. And it's now 24-3 Bears.
Blake Chapin playing some of the best football of his life right now. They get the turnover, and they turn it into 7 points. Baylor's starting to run away with this thing, 24-3.
Back in Lubbock, you're watching the Big 12 Conference on ESPN. Patrick Mahomes honored at halftime, of course, put in the Hall of Fame this weekend. Ring of Honor as well. Some fans are wishing that, you know, he was still in uniform.
Take the helm, yeah.
The quarterback play has not been good tonight for the Red Raiders. It looks like we're going to get a change. Tyler Shuck getting loose and ready to come into this ball game for the Red Raiders. And they will start at the 25-yard line. Tyler Shuck available for the first time since week 1, but doesn't look like they're ready to pull the trigger with him yet. Baron Morton, who has thrown 2 interceptions tonight. That last one was ugly, and it led to a Baylor touchdown to make this a 21-point difference. He's staying in the game for the time being.
I don't know. I think if I'm Joey McGuire right now, I'm going to Tyler Shuck. He just has more experience. He's been in these kind of situations a lot more at the collegiate level. And if Baron Morton doesn't get something going on this drive, I think we definitely got to see Shuck here soon.
On first down, they're going to go to the run game. The latest spark. It's a good gain there for Sir Roderick Thompson. He'll pick up 6.
And that's what they've lacked a lot tonight, is that positive yardage on first down. They finally get it here.
Stay with the run. There's Thompson again. The captain leaning ahead. He'll be close to a first down. It's a gain of 3. Meanwhile, Tyler Shuck continues to get loose. I'm assuming it's going to be a short leash for Morton. And that'll move the chains. Thompson, first down, Utley the tackle.
There you go, nice positive drive right there. 3 plays, all positive yards, get the first down. Let's do it again.
High snap, Morton. Make it boot to the right, throwing on the run. Looking like Mahomes with that sidearm. Deep throw, but it's incomplete. He overshot Miles Price.
And you can see why this staff loves Baron Morton. I mean, there's not a lot of guys in America that can do that. Roll off to the right and throw one kind of across your body that far down the field, just a little bit off.
Price didn't give up on that route a little bit too soon.
That's the thing, you can't give up on a route when Baron Morton has the ball because he's got such a powerful arm.
Again, the highest rated quarterback ever signed with Texas Tech out of Eastland High School. Spent part of his growing up here in Lubbock when his dad was a high school coach at Monterey High School. Line drive throw, and that one is intercepted. No, almost. Christian Morgan almost had that.
I am just pleasantly stunned at how well Baylor's defensive backfield is playing man-to-man coverage. I mean, watch, Christian Morgan's back is to the ball, but he has the presence of mind to drive his foot in the ground and come back to it. Almost makes a huge play.
Veteran safety, 6 career interceptions, 2 this year. Almost had another one.
Blitz.
Here comes the pressure, again on the run. Morton got that one away, first down. Boy, that's the best version of Morton. He completes it to Brady Boyd.
There you go. Now let's build on that if you're Texas Tech.
Quickly up to the line. Only ran 27 plays in the first half. Stepping up in the pocket, now looking for an escape valve. He finds one into plus territory. And he'll run for a first down at the 40. And Baylor.
See the athleticism. That was a great decision. Didn't put that ball in harm's way. That's it. Move the sticks. Pick up some positive yards.
Dancing Taj Brooks gets loose. Good run for Taj Brooks. He had his first 100-yard game of the season last week against West Virginia.
Tyler Brooks is the hot hand right now at running back.
We got a man down for Baylor. We've seen a lot of injuries tonight. It's not been a good night in that department. We saw several in the first half.
Let's see who that is. It's Lorando Johnson.
Remember in the first half, Baylor's tight end Drake Dabney was carted off, and we haven't seen him return. There's Joey McGuire, first-year head coach here at Texas Tech, former Baylor assistant. His team in a world of hurt, down 3 touchdowns. They need something positive to come out of this drive. 2nd down and 2 with Thompson in the backfield to the right of Morton. They fake the pitch. Morton down the right sideline, underthrown, and a defender got hands on that. Nearly picked off again. Brooks Miller, middle linebacker in coverage.
Good job, man-to-man coverage. Brooks Miller, you like to think that's a matchup that Texas Tech likes. You get their big, tall tight end on a linebacker, and just the balls, it's great coverage. I mean, if anything, that ball's got to be to the outside part of the field there where only the tight end could have a chance on it, but great the man coverage there.
Converted safety. He's making it work at linebacker. You can tell, though, he knows how to cover receivers. So now 3rd down and 2. Thompson, he's got enough for the 1st down to keep the drive alive. They go to the veteran. He'll pick up 8.
They might have got away with a little bit of a hold there on Garmin Randolph, but nevertheless, nice run to the outside. New set of downs.
And now Donovan Smith comes in at quarterback, and he's going to throw. Has a man open. Incomplete. Should have been caught. Put right on the hands of Loic Fouonji, and he couldn't dial it in.
How about that? Donovan Smith comes into the game cold right off the bench and just lays it right in there. You got to come up with that one. It's a huge play that this offense, this entire team needed. Couldn't come up with it. It was great coverage. The ball just in a perfect spot. He did. He got a hand in there right at the end. Great job staying with it. Milton.
Mark Milton, the corner. So Baron Morton, after one play on the bench, comes back in, and they go back to Thompson. Isn't that interesting that they go with Donovan Smith to pass the ball in that situation, because he's such a weapon in the red zone running the football.
And that's where he's done a lot of damage, is being that goal line inside the 5-10-yard line rusher, but he comes in, throws a nice pass.
Now Thompson to the outside, diving to the pylon. Did he get there? No, they're going to mark him out at the 1. Boy, Thompson has been great on this drive, bringing some life to this offense.
And right there was Baylor's defense that didn't have the edge. Caleb Rogers, the left tackle, great job pinning his guy inside. And Thompson bounces it out, showing some great athleticism.
The previous play is under further review. The ruling on the field is that he was short of the goal line.
I'm going to take another look. See, maybe Thompson was able to get it in. They ruled him out at the 1.
I thought he stepped out. He'll get another look. Running hard, running behind those pads. That's tough. That's close. I don't know if he went out of bounds, but did the ball cross the pylon before his left knee hit out of bounds? I think he's about an inch short.
Now the ruling on the field was that he was out at the 1, and I think that's probably where it's going to stay.
Yeah, I didn't see anything to be able to overturn that one. Not indisputable video evidence.
Well, they found some traction in the running game.
They have. You know, look, this is a team that likes to throw the ball in the air, but you got to go with what's working right now. I know it's 24-3, but there's still plenty of time in this football game. You get a score here, and all of a sudden this game starts to have a different feel to it.
Here's David Alvarez.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed, and we first and goal from the 1.5-yard line.
So our replay official, Ronnie Ford, took a look at it. They will confirm that. Thompson down at the 1. Thompson always plays well against Baylor. First career 100-yard game came against the Bears back in 2019. He's had a nice career as Texas Tech is poised to get into the end zone for the first time tonight.
Morton's still a quarterback.
Crowd coming to its feet. They've been pent up all night, looking for a reason to cheer. They won't get it here. They got it to the tight end, Mason Tharp, but he's wrapped up, no gain. Walcott and Neal combining on the stop.
That's the other thing that stood out tonight, how well Baylor has tackled. They've not allowed a lot of yards after the catch is what you've got to have versus a quick strike offense that gets a lot of guys in space.
Mason Tharp, roommates with Baron Morton. He had some room after the catch, but it closed quickly. And now second and goal. Here's Morton rolling out. Man open, that's caught. Touchdown. Henry Teeter, the other tight end. And they finally get in. Pater.
And that was all set up by how well Texas Tech's been able to run the football. On this drive, linebackers for Baylor having to come downhill, expecting to run. You get a nice play action out of Baron Morton, then the easy toss for the touchdown.
A couple of times that Baron Morton on that drive nearly threw another pick, got away with a couple of plays. And the running game gets them down the field. They finally get in as Wolf tacks on the extra point. 15 plays, 75 yards in 3.5 minutes.
All set up by the run. And again, with how quickly this offense can score, we got a football game here in Lubbock.
Most productive drive of the night for Texas Tech. They're back in this game down 24-10 as Patrick Mahomes went into the Texas Tech Athletic Hall of Fame this weekend and the Ring of Honor here at halftime. A lot of fans showing up to honor Patrick Mahomes, one of the greats to ever walk this campus. His wife and family in attendance. And there it is, Patrick Mahomes the second. This is Dad on his right. And our Don Davenport had a chance to talk with him just moments ago. And we're going to have that interview just a bit, as Baylor's going to have it at the 25-yard line. Don Davenport moments ago with Patrick Mahomes.
Well, Patrick, congratulations on your induction. I saw the emotion during that halftime ceremony. What does this place and this honor mean for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tremendous honor. I mean, I love this place. I love Texas Tech. There's so much pride here, and I'm glad that I'll be a part of this forever. If I wasn't already, I'm going to be a part of this forever now.
You know, it's funny, it happens to be a Baylor game, which, if you look back at your career against Baylor, is pretty good. 1,600 yards, 14 touchdowns in 3 games against Baylor. I know you've had a ton of great memories here, and that's probably one of them. But what is your favorite memory?
My favorite memory is definitely when we went down to Texas and beat the Longhorns in Austin. So that will forever be my favorite memory, but this one right here is going to be tied with that one at the top.
Offensive coordinator Zach Kitley, you worked with him back when you were here. What do you like about him and what he's going to be able to do with this offense?
Yeah, he gets the quarterbacks, he puts it in their hands, and he gets to the strength of their game. And so I'm ready for him to keep this thing rolling and get these guys going. Got a lot of great quarterbacks here, and hopefully we get this game going in the second half and go get a win.
Congratulations. Enjoy the night.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Great seeing Patrick here tonight. You know, and that offense did get going a little bit.
It did.
After halftime. So Richard Reese has been great in the Baylor backfield. He'll get another toss. And this defense maybe getting some energy from that last touchdown drive. Jalen Hutchins with the tackle. It'll be third down.
Baylor had so much success with that little outside toss play in the first half, but Jalen Hutchins, the nose tackle, got lateral quick and just ran that thing down. Excellent play.
Blackout here tonight in Lubbock. They came to see Patrick Mahomes. They also came to see a win. Both teams looking for their 5th of the year. Shapen pressured, he steps up. He's got the first down. Wow, that's a few times tonight that Blake Shapen has converted with his feet.
And Clay, he was decisive about it. As soon as he saw big Tyree Wilson coming up the field, no hesitation, bang, he tucked that thing and got forward. Watch down the bottom of the screen. Great speed rush by Tyree Wilson, but decisive. Tucks it, finds some room downfield.
He's got 30 yards on the ground on 8 carries. And 3 have gone for first down. There's 6 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Trying to answer that Texas Tech scoring drive. Baylor will give it to Reese again. Maybe a yard. As we go to the studio for an update with Kevin.
Clay, good evening. Capital One, rewarding performance, all Hendon Hooker. It's his show in Knoxville. 2 passing touchdowns, now 1 on the ground. Tennessee up 37-6 over Kentucky over on ESPN. Back to you, Rocky and Dawn.
Coach of the Year candidates, I'm going right now either Josh Heupel or maybe Sonny Dykes at TCU.
I agree with that. What about Heisman contender Hendon Hooker? The way he's orchestrated that offense, he's in strong consideration.
Can't argue with that.
Oh
boy. Looks like Texas Tech has it. Yeah, Rashad Williams with the takeaway.
And Clay, it looked like Richard Reese just took his eyes off that pitch before he had it secured.
On the field, it was a backward pitch recovered by the defense. First down. Texas Tech.
See, he's already getting his eyes downfield to make the run, but just like a wide receiver, you got to catch that thing first before you start to make your way upfield. Looked like it was a decent pitch. He should have had that one, and now the first critical mistake, giving Texas Tech in this offense, which just finally got rolling, a short field.
Well, the Texas Tech defense, their goal every game is 3 takeaways. They got their first of the night. They had 4 last week in that big win over West Virginia.
Got to be a shot here, right?
Morton is going to pitch it instead to Taj Brooks. That's effective. Right up the hash marks inside the 30-yard line before Marshall finally tackles him.
How many people would have thought the most effective thing Texas Tech does tonight is run the ball, but that's what they've done.
They stay with it. Brooks, and he was ready to cut it upfield, didn't have the room, and it closed a little bit that was there. Jackie Marshall, a freak athlete, number 35 for Baylor, makes the stop.
I think he got his feet tied up with his own offensive lineman as they were trying to pull off to the right side there.
So now late substitution. Again, the ball is cleared for play, 2nd down and 12. Play fake. Morton has time, steps up. He'll launch it downfield. It's complete. First down and more to the 15-yard line. Tight end Baylor Cup. Gain of 16.
Great job off the play action and just an absolute laser by Baron Morton on the money.
First catch for Cup tonight. Morton staying in the air to the end zone, and that's high. Wanted his 4th-year junior, Trey Cleveland.
I'll tell you one thing to say about Baron Morton, and he has not played good up to this point, but he's not scared, right? He's not out there playing hesitant. He is just letting that thing rip out there, which is what you got to do as a quarterback. No room, no time for being hesitant. And that is an exceptional throw. Puts it right between the 8s.
Kitley trusts him. That's pretty obvious. He's made some mistakes tonight, but Zach has stayed with his man.
Yep.
2nd and 10, and now they're going to whistle this play dead. So the false start.
False start. Offense, number 76, 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
It's the left tackle, Caleb Rogers. Started all 13 games last year at right tackle. Now he's at left tackle, and that's the 4th penalty against Texas Tech here tonight.
It's an offensive line that had 3 new starters coming into the season. Better the last few weeks.
Off the turnover, Texas Tech trying to make Baylor pay. Down a couple of touchdowns. Backing up, Morton got rid of it, incomplete, and now a late flag. Unsportsmanlike conduct likely coming here. It's getting chippy.
And was it the late hit on Christian Morgan, or was it the retaliation?
Taj Brooks got hit late. And I believe that's what this is going to be about.
After the play, personal foul, necessary roughness, late hit, defense, number 4. Half the distance to the goal, and an automatic. First down.
That's the fifth-year senior Christian Morgan. That's a play he should know better.
Yeah, and just didn't need to do it. You know, I know you're playing hard, you're out there running fast, but he sees that ball bounce and kind of try to pull up on that. Instead, you give a new set of downs for Texas Tech on what would have been a critical negative yards play.
Back inside the red zone. Brooks trying to find some leverage on the outside. He's brought down by Braden Utley again. Gain of 3, so second down. 3.5 minutes to go in the quarter.
Brooks keeps those legs pumping, doesn't he?
Leading rusher a year ago. I thought Thompson on the last drive was the engine. Brooks is in there now. It's the tight end Teeter who had the touchdown catch on the last series. Here's Morton rolling out to the right. Got a man on him, got rid of it, incomplete. And Jackie Marshall had to force another throw to the sideline for Morton. He's been seeing Bears in his rearview mirror all night.
This Baylor defense has been so tough tonight. Jackie Marshall, great job in open field, forcing a bad throw.
Dave Aranda, Joey McGuire matching wits here tonight.
See Texas Tech substituted, so Baylor's going to take its time subbing their guys in.
That's what Baylor wants to do here tonight. Slow this offense down. Spinning away is Morton. Stays alive, throws to the goal line. It's tipped and incomplete. Devin Lemire got a hand on it.
It was first an exceptional job of Morton of getting out of that sack. He was dead to rights, coming to the blind side, some fancy footwork. But then Devin Lemire, he's in perfect phase. Another great job of man coverage by this Baylor defense.
It's a little behind the receiver. That nearly could have been intercepted. Now 4th and 7. Instead of going for the field goal, they're going to go for the touchdown. Morton sliding up. Stays on his feet, he's got it. Touchdown, Baron Morton. Joey McGuire rolling the dice. And the Red Raiders get into the end zone.
And I don't think that's how Zach Kinley drew that play up, but guess what? It worked. You got a quarterback in Baron Morton who's not played his best football tonight, but in these big moments, he's coming up big. Makes a great decision, just steps up and breaks a tackle. TJ Franklin keeps those legs pumping. In for the score.
Do you like this aggressiveness on 4th down, or does it make your heart stop?
It makes my heart stop, it does, but I know that's what they do. They go for it, and they don't think twice about it.
Extra point, Trey Wolf. And this is getting interesting, folks. It took a while, but now it's getting fun. 24-17.
Baron Morton starting to play his best football now, putting the game in his hands. He wants to be the leader. He's starting to lead this offense. Texas Tech getting closer.
After Baron Morton threw his second interception to start this half, looked like Tyler Shuck was ready to come in, but he has led back-to-back touchdown drives.
And that's what you got to do as a quarterback. You're not always going to be playing your best football, but you got to hang in there. You got to stay confident. You got to make plays down the stretch. That's what Baron Morton's done.
Baylor had a 21-point lead early in this third quarter. It's down to 7. Let's go to the studio and Kevin Nagandi.
Clay, time now for our AT&T 5G studio update. Let's go to the West Coast. Number 10 USC at Arizona. Jaden Delar and a Jacob Cowing for the Wildcats. That would lead to a Michael Wiley touchdown. They would miss the two-point conversion, so it's 31-29 SC. The Trojans offense answering back. Caleb Williams, the Kyle Ford touchdown, 38-29 USC in the fourth quarter. And right now on the SEC Network, Ole Miss feeling good, up 24-14 against A&M on the road late in the third. Back to you, Clay.
All right, Kevin, thanks very much. Things getting interesting here in Lubbock, as this Texas Tech defense is really starting to feed off the offensive success.
And all the momentum right now is wearing black. Reggie Pearson comes and sets the tone from the secondary, laying a big. Look at this, coming out of there, knocking guys to the ground, coming, flying up. That's how you play.
Jordan Neighbors got leveled by the Wisconsin transfer. Now that pass is complete to Quaylen Jones. It's a gain of 5. Here comes another third down and 3 for Baylor.
This is a big moment for Blake Shapen right here. He's played exceptional football, but look, guess what? Defense has given up 2 straight scores, so now he's got to come in and right the ship. Got to make a big play here.
Again, we haven't seen much of Ben Sims, a likely third down target. They stay with that pitch to the running back, and it has been working beautifully tonight. Richard Reese, how many times have we seen that play go for big yards?
They've not been able to stop it all night. Just a simple pitch to the outside. Get some offensive linemen pulling around. Just no edge, and Richard Reese is just really impressed with how decisive he is and just how well he sees the daylight. He's got patience, and then when he sees the daylight, boom, he hits that thing.
127 yards rushing. Of course, coming out that 186-yard performance last week against Kansas, where he had 2 touchdowns. Already has 2 touchdowns here tonight. Play action. Shapen has time. He's going to throw deep downfield. There's his man, Ben Sims. Well, it's been a while since we've mentioned his name. That's a 25-yard hookup.
That's what happens. You run the ball, what you have, and then you get the hard play action off. Look at all those linebackers get sucked up into the line, and before you can figure out what's going on, the tight end is streaking back across the field. Great catch.
Ben Sims has been so good over his career. Team record 11 career touchdown catches, most by a tight end in team history. A little flea flicker. Shapen going to Sims again. It's underthrown and incomplete. Baylor scored a touchdown on that same play against Iowa State. Doesn't work this time. We've seen Shapen float the ball pretty well at times tonight. That one was underthrown.
A little bit underthrown. Yeah, when he threw it against Iowa State, wide receiver was wide open. Like I said, just a little bit underthrown. If he allows Sims to just run underneath this ball, I think it's a touchdown.
Reggie Pearson, the Wisconsin transfer, knocked that one away. Reese in the pistol behind Shapen here on 2nd and 10. It'll be Reese looking for wiggle room up the middle. He runs into the front. Spearheaded by Josiah Pierre, the outside linebacker. Transfer from Florida. Final seconds here of the quarter.
Remember, the issue with Shapen has been taking care of the football. You want to be aggressive, but cannot make a big mistake with the ball in this area of the game.
Well, the way this third quarter started, didn't think that it was going to come down to the fourth quarter, but it is. It's a 7-point game as we head to the fourth in Lubbock. ESPN College Football Primetime presented by Sonos. Alongside Rocky Boyman, I'm Clay Matvick. Don Davenport down on the sideline. That was an entertaining third quarter.
This is, I mean, what a fun college football game. We got the blackout crowd into. We had Patrick Mahomes in there, and here we are, fourth quarter. We got a tight football game.
3rd down and 8 for Baylor. Short pass screen for Quaylon Jones, and he's going to have it up for the first down and more. The big power back for the Bears gets it to the 11-yard line, gain of 13.
And what a play call by Jeff Grimes. Going with the screen, get that defense spread out, and get the screen going right up the middle for the first down. Gutsy call.
Now he's injured. Quaylon Jones, shooting for Grand Prairie, Texas. Again, the Bears down to just 2 running backs. Craig Squirrel Williams, second game out with a head injury, and Tay McWilliams, the #1 running back to start the year. He also is out with a concussion. They're hoping to get him back soon, so they can ill afford to lose Jones. As good as Reese is, I mean, he has been a workhorse the last couple of weeks.
He has, but I mean, the way they've been giving him the football, you need another back to at least spell him and get him a little bit of rest. He can go to the sideline and get a sip and come back in, but with no Quaylon Jones, you have to ride Reese the whole rest of the way.
With a little bit on that right side. We'll see if he can make his way back into this game soon. So this Baylor offense has put up 374 yards total. It's pretty balanced, 180 on the ground, 194 through the air. And again, Baylor, for the most part, has protected the football. They do have the 1 turnover that did result in points for the Red Raiders. Now trying to complete another scoring drive back in the red zone, first down and 10. Here's Reese. Look at that running room. And he's toppled at the 5-yard line. We have seen some big holes created by that offensive front.
Great job by Jacob Gall, the center, getting up to the second level and put a nice block on the linebackers, letting Reese running downhill right now. Offensive line has done a great job. I think they've been the story of this entire game.
Kyron Drones, the backup quarterback who ran a little wildcat last week at Kansas, in the game against Kansas, comes in. That's what he's going to do. He's going to run it. Drones ahead. Maybe a couple. He had a touchdown run last year.
And you like to think without Quaylon Jones, and he went down a couple plays ago to bring Drones in. He's like their biggest running back right now, 6'2", 223. Really dangerous down this area of the field. He's going to come out here and put Shapen back in. And you also see Dylan Doyle, the linebacker, coming back in at fullback. Last time this area of the field, they went with 2 backs, 2 fullbacks, and just ran that puppy right downhill.
Tenth play of the drive for Baylor. Handoff to Doyle. Muscling his way. He's going to be stopped just short of the goal line. I mean, that's where his future may lie at the next level, is as a fullback.
And Jeff Grimes told us yesterday he definitely has an NFL future as either a linebacker or a fullback. Just has a knack for it. Blocks well, runs well, has good hands. Almost got in there. I'm going to keep him out there.
Fifth-year senior from Iowa City, a transfer from the Hawkeyes. 3 touchdowns, 3 possessions in the red zone, looking for another one. Baylor has a quarterback away from center. Handoff, Reese. And he got it. Hat trick for Richard Reese. 3rd touchdown of the night for the freshman. Boy, and that just sucked the energy back out of Jones AT&T Stadium.
And credit this Baylor offense, Blake Shapen and company, for doing just that. Okay? Things aren't going to go your way all the time in a football game, but you got to find a way to capture the momentum back. And behind the legs of Richard Reese, they've been able to do that.
Rushing touchdown number 12 for Reese. 3rd in the game. Extra point is good by Mayers.
And this was a no-doubter. They get the first down inside about the 3-yard line, so they're just going to load up on that offensive line. Get behind your big fullback, Dylan Doyle, and Richard Reese going to try to ride this thing out. Baylor on top, 31-17.
Baylor back to a 14-point advantage after Texas Tech cut the Bears lead to 7. 12:46 to go. 11-play, 75-yard drive. Reese with his 3rd touchdown run of the night. Look what he has done the last 2 weeks.
He looks tired right now, but hey, young man, no room to be tired. He may get another 8-10 carries in this football game. The way he's running it and the way it's been effective in this game so far.
Now, Big 12 now on ESPN Plus is a must-have for Big 12 fans. Every Wednesday, Chucky Kemp, Harold Kuntz host the Big 12 Football Weekly Show. Plus, next Saturday, the featured college football matchup has Iowa State taking on West Virginia. Coverage begins at 3:30 Eastern. If you're a Big 12 fan, you gotta have it. I'm sticking with Baron Morton, quarterback who started this game. Started the year as the 3rd-string quarterback. The last couple of weeks, he's been the starter. At times, we've seen him do some pretty good things here, especially the last couple of touchdown drives.
Yeah, last 2 drives, touchdowns. He's made a couple risky throws here, but he's also led to some positive plays.
Handoff, Taj Brooks. He's gained about 6. Again, the first time really since week 1 that Texas Tech has had 3 healthy quarterbacks.
Absolutely. You know, it's been mostly Morton tonight, but it really is this run game, Clay, that has been exceptional here as they've tried to get back in this game.
I know at times you thought that maybe it was worthy of considering a change tonight.
I did, because it didn't look like Morton was getting anything going, but, you know, I think there's something to be said about sticking with a quarterback and showing confidence in him, and he's delivered the last 2 drives.
Well, that's going to be no gain for Brooks. Walcott and Lemire make the tackle. It's a 4th down and short. And they're going to walk Donovan Smith back out.
Now, last time he was in, he took a deep shot downfield. It should have been a touchdown catch, but it wasn't hauled in. If Baylor can stop him here. Look at this.
1 for 2 tonight on 4th down. Lead the nation in 4th down attempts and conversions. Tight end Teeter goes to the right side of the formation. They will run it. Straight ahead, that's going to move the chains. Boy, that is analytics coming into play. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It does here.
Gives me a heart attack, but Taj Brooks is running hard right now.
Donovan Smith stays in at quarterback. He's looking to throw right down the middle, and he's intercepted. Picked off at the 50-yard line and brought back to the 46. Donovan Smith, who has had a problem throwing picks this year, that's his 8th interception thrown. You can see Zach Kitley can't believe it as Walcott gets the interception.
And I think Kitley overthought this one. You know, you're bringing Smith in, hand the ball off once, and then he throws the ball downfield. And again, just another great job of the Baylor secondary in tight coverage. You know, and it's one thing, okay, you're going to go with a different quarterback, but let him get in the flow of the game, and then you bring in Smith cold off the bench, and then he's got to throw a shot down the field. That didn't work out.
3rd turnover for Texas Tech. All on interceptions, 2 by Morton, now 1 by Donovan Smith. And now this Baylor offense, which can put an opponent's offense in the deep freeze, will go back to work. They'll try to run some clock. They've got a comfortable lead. They'll keep it on the ground. Merriweather will tackle the ball carrier. Richard Reese, gain of a couple. There's Dave Aranda trying to come into Lubbock and spoil the party.
You know Dave Aranda, he's a defensive guy. He's got to love this. Coming into the season with just 4 interceptions tonight, 3, and they've been huge, game-changing plays.
And you were really worried about the Baylor secondary.
I mean, we talked before the game. I was like, I don't know if they can cover these guys, and they have really, really shown me tonight that they can.
Well, this is good to see. Quaylen Jones, who was shaken up on the last series for Baylor, back in the game in the backfield. Wow. Pass right on the money for Shapen. But it's incomplete as Hal Presley can't haul it in. Let's go down to Dawn.
Hey, guys, I just wanted to hit on that Baylor secondary you were talking about, because I talked to Apu Ika this week, and he told me it is crazy to see the development from that secondary this season. But really, he said, in the last 2 weeks, he said, just wait and watch them. They are all guys we didn't talk about last year. He said the work they put in, the development from that group, key to success tonight. Man, he called it, didn't he?
Yeah, he sure did. They've been the story of this game here, but now it's up to Chapin. Another big third down.
Third down and 8. Chapin's going to keep it, stays on his feet, and he'll be brought down well short of the line to gain Jacob Rodriguez, a transfer from Virginia. And it's fourth down, and Baylor's not going to risk it this time. They're going to bring on Isaac Power to punt.
And I think this is the right call, and Chapin thought he could get to that edge as he's done a couple of times tonight, but the speed of this Texas Tech defense shut it down. It's a way to respond.
This will be just the second punt tonight for Isaac Power. Snap. Xavier White comes up. He'll call for the fair catch. And Texas Tech starting to run out of time in this ball game. Down 14. 28-yard punt. We're back in Lubbock in a moment. Back in Lubbock, Texas, the hometown of the late, great Buddy Holly. 31-17 Baylor. I bet that's a popular Halloween costume around this place.
I bet. Look at
Pretty
that.
easy.
What?
Look at
I'm already sporting it.
Yeah.
Boys. Win in Lubbock, right?
I love it. What a great job done with the Buddy Holly glasses. My man's got the Mahomes jersey and the glasses on.
Well, Texas Tech with 9:38 to go. As Baron Morton back out on the field to start this drive. He throws on the run, underthrown and thrown wide, out of play.
And that's just a tough play. You're going to do a double move with your quarterback rolling to the right. I know he's got a strong arm, but it's got to be a better, higher percentage play to run on first down right there.
Look at these numbers for Baron Morton. We'll do it after the play here. 8 for 28, 98 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks. Right? It just is not pretty. There's a connection. That's going to be a first down for Jaron Bradley, the 6'5" redshirt freshman. As Morton stepped into that one for a gain of 27.
He got some time. He also saw open middle of the field. It was a cover 2 look. Where do you attack the middle of the field? And he does it with a great throw.
Looking to throw again. Has another receiver. Caught at the 40. Bradley again. Boy, now Morton's getting a little time. Gain of 17.
And you wonder if now is this defensive Baylor a little bit worn down at this stage of the game. Now's the time to go quick.
And almost intercepted through the receiver's hands and nearly picked off by Devin Lemire.
Said Lemire almost made him pay there, dove and got the interception. But you see Texas Tech subs in, so now Baylor's going to bring in about 5 new bodies, and they're going to take their time to do it, allow that defensive line to get a little bit of a blow here.
On the ground, it's Sir Roderick Thompson. He's hit and bumped out of bounds. This is going to be a yard pickup, so third down and fairly long here for Texas Tech.
Both Thompson and Brooks run hard, don't they? Still a good job by Dylan Doyle.
And Texas Tech's only used 2 running backs here tonight. No Donnell, no Valdez. And down in the depth chart. On the comeback, they get it to the tight end. Baylor Cup. First down, Texas Tech.
Always a good idea to throw to your 6'6" tight end coming back to the ball. That's hard to cover.
Yeah, and he's the shorter of the tight ends. Mason Tharp, 6'9". First and 10. Morton going to the end zone. And that is that caught? No, it's going to be picked off.
Wow.
That is going to be a touchback for Baylor. Tevin Williams with the interception.
And Tevin Williams just wrestled this ball away as he was coming down. And Baron Morton and Texas Tech stunned right now. Thought they were going to get the big play, but 27 comes in, doesn't give up on it. gets the interception.
Well, the review was done and the play stands. It is an interception in the end zone. Touchback Baylor. 4th interception for this Baylor defense here tonight. Tevin Williams basically muscled it away, Rocky. What was the official looking at upstairs?
He did. Now, simultaneous possession goes to the offense, but you cannot make the argument right there that J.J. Sparkman completed the process of the catch before he went down. Tevin Williams, as he's going down, just continues to wrestle that ball away. It's Baylor football.
So Baylor has it. They can continue to work the clock as they go to Reese on the ground. 4 interceptions, 4 different defenders in that secondary that you questioned. I questioned. I think a lot of people maybe thought was going to be really in trouble here tonight against this high-powered offense. But boy, they have passed the test.
I mean, you heard me. I asked Ron Roberts last night, can you cover these guys? He said, oh, yeah. And I don't know. But they've done a great job tonight. All the credit in the world goes to them, and Ron Roberts with a great plan as well.
Blake Shapen complete to Gavin Holmes. And that's going to be a first down out across the 35-yard line. Look at the time of possession, and this is a recipe for a win on the road. When Baylor talked to us this week, they said we have to control the football primarily on the ground. They have done that with Richard Reese. Look at the time of possession.
And this is just a clinic on how to stop a high-tempo offense. Control the tempo with the run game, keep that offense on the sideline, and then make some critical big plays on defense. The other thing Baylor's done well defensively is tackled very well tonight.
Yeah, they've been outstanding in that department. As Richard Reese gets another carry. The last time that Baylor had 4 interceptions in the same game, 2021 against Oklahoma State in the Big 12 title game. Now, the 4 defenders, Walcott, Lemire, Milton, Williams. 2 of the interceptions were in the end zone.
In the end zone, yeah, which very easily could have gone the other way, but they go Baylor's way.
2nd down and 4. It's going to be close to a first down. Reese again. So Richard Reese, that's his 31st carry of the night. Back-to-back weeks with 31 carries, and he's unlikely done.
Yeah, 62 rushes in 2 weeks for a freshman running back who's not the biggest guy in the world. We talked about it. I mean, he goes 5'9", 175 pounds, and he runs much bigger than that, but credit him for taking on the wear and tear.
Officially, he's at 33, so already over 30. What a night. Stay with it. That toss doesn't work out quite the way it's been working, but it's going to be enough for a first down, it looks like.
Close. I think they're going to call it 4th down.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Wow. This is interesting.
Timeout for an official measurement.
They're going to bring out the sticks to measure. I thought he had it.
And as they measure this, they're bringing Dylan Doyle and Gavin Yates, 2 fullbacks, onto the field. I think we know what it's going to be if they don't give them the measurement.
Baylor's done such a great job handling this environment, taking care of business, keeping Tech's offense on the sideline, finishing drives, sustaining drives, and they're going to sustain this one. That's going to be a first down. Wow, for Baylor.
Huge. Makes Dave Aranda happy, getting that first down.
He's starting to feel good about putting this one away.
Pound the rock, right? That's his answer for everything. Keep pounding it. They've done such a great job tonight at that.
Get it out to midfield. Reese again. Let's take a look at this week's college football rankings brought to us by Goodyear. It was an interesting Saturday.
Timeout.
Here the last Saturday of October. Georgia handled Florida okay.
Wow.
Ohio State over Penn State 44-31. Tennessee put a shellacking on Kentucky. You see Michigan leading Michigan State.
Yeah, that Tennessee victory, wow. They continue to just roll.
The one, though, that's still shaking my head at is just how bad Oklahoma State was today.
And again, as you mentioned, without Adrian Martinez, their starting quarterback, go in there and put 48 on Oklahoma State.
Dave Aranda knows that there's a path to get back to that Big 12 championship game because they've got games against Kansas State, against TCU, who are ahead of them in the standings. They'll be at Oklahoma next week. I mean, this wasn't going to be easy. All the emotion that this fan base had with Patrick Mahomes in town, and Texas Tech coming off a win, night game, blackout.
Haven't lost at home, right, this whole year. I mean, everything was in the favor of Texas Tech, and Baylor still got a ways to go to put this one on ice, but they've played exceptional football tonight.
5:09 to go. Shapen, little end around. Jordan Neighbors will be run out at the 45 of Texas Tech. 5-yard pickup for Neighbors, the speedy freshman from Rockwall, Texas.
We've seen a couple of those end arounds by Neighbors tonight in certain critical areas.
How about Blake Shapen tonight? Overall, your impressions?
I've been very impressed. I think this is the best football game he's played. Protected the ball well, and he's come up big, right? A couple big 4th down plays, 4th and 5 he converted. And really, I mean, the biggest thing is every time, when Texas Tech started to get some drives, then Blake Shapen came back out, led this offense down the field and got them their own score.
Timeout Baylor. Their first of the half. Timeout on the field.
Shapen and Baylor head to the sideline to talk. 4:27 to go at 3rd and 4 coming up for the Bears. Rocky, what'd you call it, a gauntlet? Yeah, I think that is fitting. At Oklahoma, K-State, TCU, and at Texas for Baylor.
Yeah, I mean, never easy to win on the road. Don't care who the team is, and then K-State, TCU down the stretch.
4:27 to put this one on ice. Ooh, that's a big play for this Texas Tech defense. Tyree Wilson again keeps the edge. That's a loss of 5, and a timeout called by the Red Raiders.
We've been waiting for Tyree Wilson to make a big play all night. Finally does one.
30 seconds in lane.
He was one of our impact players at the beginning of the game.
10 tackles, 2 for loss. So that puts him in double-digit tackles for loss this year. Potential NFL first-rounder.
Absolutely. I mean, just with his size and his frame, that alone is going to get him the conversation. And the way he keeps playing, definitely a first-round potential guy.
Now, speaking of the NFL, tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, exclusively on ESPN+, the Broncos taking on the Jaguars in London. Go to ESPNplus.com/NFL to watch. And Monday Night Football features Joe Burrow and the Bengals squaring off against Nick Chubb and the Browns on Halloween night. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ESPN. So while you're munching on Halloween candy, you can watch Monday Night Football. Joe Burrow has never beaten the Browns, 0-3 all time.
Never has, but if he plays like he did last week, 481 pound week, big game on Halloween night.
Isaac Power was ready to punt. There's a flag.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense number 44. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
So back Baylor up. Try again. So, I mean, this isn't over yet. I mean, there's 4:22 to go. Texas Tech only has 1 timeout left, but they do work quickly.
They work quickly, and they have the high-powered offense. They can score fast, a lot of great wide receivers, so Baylor still got to hold on to this thing.
Over and punt that's going to land at the 10-yard line. Check up. And be killed at the 8. That's a 50-yard punt. And Tyler Shuck appears to be ready to come on the field and run the offense for Texas Tech at quarterback. He broke his collarbone opening day against Murray State in the first quarter. This is his first game since then. That was September the 3rd.
And what a tough situation. You mentioned hasn't played really all year since the first game. But your first game back, come on in the game down 14 and try to lead this team to victory. Tough spot.
He's a senior out of Chandler, Arizona. Has another year of eligibility left. 23 years old. Can he find some magic in that right arm that's maybe a little rusty? It's picked off. All the way back to the end zone. Touchdown, Baylor. A.J. McCarty with the 5th interception of the night for the Baylor defense.
And I just don't understand it. You know, shuffling quarterbacks in and out. If you're not going to go with Morton, bring someone in and ride him the rest of the game. But we've seen Donovan Smith come in cold and throw a big interception. And now we've seen Tyler Shuck come in cold and throw a big interception.
5 interceptions, 5 different players.
And it's just a tough thing to do. And I don't think Baron Morton, if anything, he was playing bad at the beginning of this game. The second half, he's played much better. 2 different times, they've chosen to go with the other quarterback. I don't know.
And now it's all over but the shot for Baylor, as all 3 Texas Tech quarterbacks have now thrown a pick tonight.
And this is just a tough throw to begin with, making a long throw to the outside part of the field. That ball's got to be thrown about 40 yards in the air. It just hangs up, and easy pickings there for A.J. McCarty.
First interception thrown this year by Tyler Shuck. That's probably no surprise since he hasn't even played a full quarter of football this year because of the injury.
And I just hate it for Shuck that he finally gets back in the game. He comes into this situation. It's not advantageous.
Baylor had just 4 picks defensively. We talked about this earlier. They went over that in one game, and we're not even done yet.
That's amazing. Dave Aranda, defensive coach, obviously, you know, he's loving it. I mean, everything that exemplifies Dave Aranda football, running the ball and playing great defense, get big plays, turnovers. It's happened tonight for Baylor.
Well, going against his former assistant, Joey McGuire. You know, he said, I love Joey. He's a friend of mine. I wish him well. I want him to do well, just not tonight.
Not tonight.
4:04 to go. Well, next Saturday, our featured ESPN college football game, Bryce Young and number 6 Alabama taking on number 18 LSU. It's always great when Alabama and LSU get together. Coverage begins Saturday night, 7 Eastern. Winner will be in a really good spot toward winning the SEC West. The 2 quarterbacks, touchdowns responsible for, dead even at 21 apiece.
This LSU offense at the beginning of the season looked blah. Man, they've been playing well, especially the last couple weeks. Put 45 points on Ole Miss last week. It'll be a shootout.
Shuck is going to step up, and he's going to slide. Oh, and he's taken a hit hard at the 30-yard line. Christian Morgan nailing a sliding quarterback. That's a no-no. When the quarterback gives himself up, it's hands off, almost like he's wearing a yellow jersey.
I'm not sure it was forcible contact with the head or neck area, but it was.
After the play, personal foul, late hit, unnecessary roughness, 15-yard penalty, and an automatic first down.
So no targeting, like you said, Rocky, just a late hit.
And which is fortunate for Baylor, because you don't want to go into next week losing one of your best defenders in Christian Morton. He's coming downhill, you're playing aggressive, but today's football, that quarterback starts to slide, you got to pull off.
What a great job this Baylor defense has done tonight. You know, some early stops really helped kind of set the mood against this Texas Tech offense, which wants to run fast. They have a goal every game of about 90 plays. Not going to be anywhere close to that tonight. In fact, they're still under 70. And Shuck goes down. He's sacked at the 35-yard line by Garmin Randolph, who's had a good night. Double nickel.
He's had a real good interceptions, sacks, tackles for loss. And again, no yards after the catch. That's the biggest story. That's where Texas Tech gets so many yards.
Shuck just shovels it out. Gets it to Taj Brooks. He'll step out of bounds short of the original line of scrimmage. With 3:19 to go. Third down and 11 for Texas Tech. Poised to lose their first game at home this year. They were trying to be 5-0 for the first time since 2008 in home games to start the year. Boy, Shuck is having a tough time out there in his first action since early September.
Yeah, there's just no way to ease into a football game, you know? It's just kind of feel for the situation he's been put in. And I know he wants to get out there, but man, this is tough.
Shuck, a transfer from Oregon. Remember, he was the backup to Justin Herbert at Oregon for 2 years before becoming the starter there during the COVID year of 2020. Fourth down and 18. Shuck heated up again. Spun around and he's sacked back at the 25-yard line. Sixth sack for the Baylor defense. They came in last in the Big 12 in that category, just 11 entering play tonight.
That's been the biggest thing missing from this defense. So many sacks last year. And only 11, as you mentioned, coming into this game. They found a way to get some pressure on the quarterback tonight. And I think a lot of it has had to do with how well that back end's covered. We've talked about it at length tonight. But not just getting the interception, but covering those guys up, making that quarterback hold the ball just a little bit longer until that D can get there.
Sports Center coming up. Of course, the World Series topic of conversation in this state with the Houston Astros in it against the Philadelphia Phillies. We head to the studio as soon as we're done here in Lubbock. Baylor, just over 2 minutes to go. And Quaylen Jones on the carry. What a night for Baylor. They're going to be 5-3, back over 500 in the Big 12. And Blake Shapen really shaping up to be a pretty formidable quarterback in this league.
Really is. I thought he came in and played with a lot of confidence tonight. Big in the big moments. As we said, Jeff Grimes said last night, we want him to come out here and let it rip, and he's done that. There's just no room as a quarterback to be hesitant and second guess yourself. You got to go team down the field. He's done a great job tonight.
Baylor calls a timeout.
Timeout.
Have a chance to be over
Baylor,
40 minutes of time of possession again this week. On the other sideline, a little somber, Joey McGuire. There was such anticipation all week. Big rivalry game. And it just hasn't panned out for the Red Raiders. That is impressive.
Unbelievable.
Joey McGuire, former assistant under that man, Dave Aranda. Matt Rule hired him at Baylor in 2017. Wanted the job when Rule left for the NFL. They hired Aranda.
Yep.
But he stayed on as Aranda's assistant. It was a very cordial relationship, good working relationship. But McGuire wanted to venture out on his own. He wanted a head job. He got this one here in Lubbock. And for the most part, it's gone pretty well. Tonight, an exception for sure.
Yeah, tonight's a setback for sure. But, I mean, Joey McGuire, Texas high school football legend, eats, sleeps, and breathes Texas. His fan base loves him, you know. I think he's still got a very bright future. But, I mean, they just ran into a buzzsaw tonight with Baylor. I mean, they played some big boy football tonight, controlled the line of scrimmage, ran the ball, chewed the clock. Look at Richard Reese, 36 carries tonight after having 31 last week.
The offensive coordinator, Jeff Grimes, says, I don't know that I want him carrying it 30 times every night. But you know what? He did again, and it was fine.
We need you. We got to have you, Richard. He really showed out tonight.
Now, Tay McWilliams could be back as soon as next week.
That's big. Maybe they could squirrel Williams back, too.
That's a first down and more. That's going to be another touchdown. Waylon Jones.
Just putting the exclamation. There.
Waylon Jones. Richard Reese. The only two healthy backs Baylor has, and they were both very, very good tonight. 3 plays, 26 yards, a minute and 38 seconds. Now this one is officially out of whack. Boy, you got to tip your hat to this offensive line tonight for Baylor.
They've played great. Just pushing guys around, setting the tone, and I mean, there's nothing worse than the ball at you, and there's nothing you can do to stop it.
Second most experienced offensive line in the country coming into the season. They've had some injuries. They've had some nights where they weren't as good, some games where things were a little off. You know, they had some pre-snap penalties, especially in that game against BYU early in the year that cost them that game. But boy, everything came together here tonight in Lubbock.
Yeah, they really did. They stuck with the run. And I mean, early on, it was that little pitch play to the outside. They were pulling the offensive lineman, creating a couple new gaps, a little quick pitch to the outside, and Reese hitting it downhill. But all the credit goes to those 5 up front there, how they played tonight.
So it's official, Baylor, 40 minutes, 15 seconds. That's better than last week against Kansas when they were 40 minutes, 10 seconds. Most time of possession in 27 years for the Bears. They go even further tonight.
Further tonight. They run the 87 plays, and you know, we came in thinking it was Texas Tech that was going to run the 89, 100 plays. Didn't work out that way.
Sports Center coming up in just a little bit. 45 seconds to go. Well, Baylor spoiled the party.
It really
Blackout on a Saturday night with Patrick Mahomes being honored, put in the Hall of Fame, the Ring of Honor, and Baylor was a wet blanket. After that interception thrown by Baron Morton to start the third quarter. It's going to be a 15-yard run for Brooks. Devin Lemire tops it over. Back-to-back touchdowns by Texas Tech, and they got to within 7. But then Baylor answered right back.
They answered. Yeah, that's what you got to do in football. The other team's going to get a spark. They're going to put a couple drives together, and you got to come in and just extinguish the flame. That defense did it behind them. 5 interceptions tonight. That was big.
Tyler Shuck, an interception on his first pass attempt since week 1. Finally healthy, turns into a pick 6. It's going to be a first down run for Brooks. So Baylor is going to win it. A final of 45-17. They stay in the Big 12 championship game hunt. Tough schedule down the stretch for sure, but there is a path to that Big 12 title game. The coaches meeting at midfield, Joey McGuire and Dave Aranda, friends. And it's Dave Aranda with a convincing win tonight.
Yeah, it really was. He came in a tough environment, everything against him. But he played his plan to a T, pounded the rock, big on defense. Baylor back in action.
Sports Center coming up next.